Hey there, NPCs, and welcome to Rules of Cool, where we interview very special guests, creators, gamers, designers, and world builders. I'm your host, Triz, and today we'll be chatting with Christian Stokes with beautiful roles such as Convoy, but more importantly, co founder of Rough Magic. We have a fantastic giveaway of 50% off a 4 player online one shot with one of Rough Magic's professional game masters. Type NPC in the chat for a free entry to win. The drawing will be done after today's rebroadcast of Emerald Glitch, All That Glitters is Chrome, coming up right after Rules of Cool. You can also get bonus entries by donating bits or subscribing. Every 100 bits gets you a bonus entry, and subscribing gets you 7 whole bonus entries. In Rem Alternis news, get ready for Rift Zone Contact, a revolutionary wargame for everyone. Boosted Reality is melding reality with AR with their Rift Zone Contact mobile application. Playable anywhere with nothing but minis and mobile devices, the seamless combo of app and minis simplifies miniature wargames, eliminating rules and calculations and making them more accessible to everyone. Check out the link in chat. Next up, discover Exit Vector, a high velocity aerial combat game by Victor Tridents. A proud veteran owned company, dive into your favorite cyberpunk adventures with their rules agnostic game. Crafted by experienced veterans, Vector Tridents, or rather, Exit Vector, offers a thrilling mix of realism and excitement. Join up to take your gaming experience to new heights with Exit Vector, launching next month. Link in the chat. Embark on a nostalgic journey with Dear Pen Pal Belgium 1980, a captivating Kickstarter project by award-winning author Jennifer Brozek. Immerse yourself in 24 heartfelt letters mailed to your home and penned by a fictionalized 10-year-old Jennifer navigating the challenges of a Belgian school, all while maintaining a vivid imagination and befriending a ghostly companion. Launching on March 21st. Follow the project to get notified on launch by clicking the link in chat. All right, and now time to get into our conversation for this week. Stay tuned, NPCs. Welcome back, NPCs, and welcome back to you, Christian. How you doing, Convoy? I mean, Christian. Oh, goodness, I don't think that they can hear you right now. Yep, yeah, no, I just saw that. Give us just one moment for some minor technical difficulties. All right, one more time.
Okay.
Welcome back, NPCs, and welcome back to you, Christian.
Thank you. Am I heard?
I do see that you are being heard now.
Okay, wonderful. Great. Thanks for having me on and not in convoy form.
You know, I Thank goodness, because I'm pretty sure Convoy is pretty mad at our call right now. So we can just move on from that. Well,
Nah, he's not mad. We're best friends.
that's just because we both can't take a hit. Uh,
That's true.
well, Christian, and I am talking to you as Christian. As we always like to start the show with, what is your history as a gamer?
Well, I got started in with board games when I was young. That's about all I had. Um, I grew up very remote area, grew up on a farm, so I didn't have access. I mean, the nearest place where I could find a Dungeons and Dragons book was about an hour away, an hour drive. Um, but my brother and I would make up our own rules for like wargaming and stuff with our army men and our GI Joes and stuff. And so we'd have like a yardstick. We'd measure out which units, how far units could shoot, and how far they could travel in one turn. And so we created these things all to ourselves. And so I start. That's how I kind of got into it. Is basically from pretend as a child. And then when I found out there were rules for it, I was like, oh, okay, let's dive in.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of how it all starts. Just making up your own rules until, until everyone else gets on the same page.
Yeah, until a professional makes a better set.
No, that's absolutely fair. Well,
Yeah.
I really want to know your opinion on this actually, because with your line of work and how many different games you kind of have to facilitate, what is your favorite TTRPG?
That's a very tough one. I've had a chance to play a lot, and I wish I had a chance to play more. I'm really excited to get a chance to play some new ones this next week, coming up this next week. But um, I think my favorite is probably Deadlands, uh, which is uses the Savage Worlds rule
Right, right.
set. But like the setting, the specific rules for Deadlands itself in the Weird West, I've always really enjoyed, and just sucks me in. I love it. Followed closely by Shadowrun, because Shadowrun was my first tabletop role playing game, and will always be near and dear to my heart.
No, no, fully understandable. No matter the crunch, it kind of has to fall in there somewhere of just like it. Like, of course, I love
Yeah,
Shadowrun.
of course I love Shadowrun.
But just like I definitely understand the feeling of watching a lot of westerns growing up and just falling in love with that little piece of history.
Yeah, I just think westerns are so cinematic. Like it's like so much can be said without using dialogue in westerns. And so like this kind of epicness is ingrained in me, in these vast landscapes and the search of the unknown and the frontier. The frontier is built into it in such a way, but it still roots us in the world that we already know.
No, absolutely, but it feels like just distant enough away to where it's just like this feels like it could be a whole nother world as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, yeah. And that's exactly why I love it. Then you add some weird sci-fi and magic into there, and dealing with devils. Then you've got my attention.
All right, well,
A
I need
magic system where you have to play Texas Hold'em with a devil every time you cast a spell. Okay, now I'm interested.
listen. I am just now trying to figure out how to play poker strictly because of Balatro. I don't know if you've seen anything about that game, but I am just now learning all of that. I'd love to make a deal with the devil to cast magic in a Western environment.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's one of my favorites. All and the world and the lore is pretty great. I like it, and it feels dangerous, like the West should.
No, 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 absolutely. Well, I've tried playing Red Dead and stuff like that as far as Western things go, but I may have fallen out from that, but mainly because of how much I love magic and magic systems and the price that you pay to be able to engage in it. I've just fully fallen in love with it. So,
Yeah, right there. You get it.
well, we know that you do run some of your own campaigns. How did you first get into GMing?
Um, so I got into GMing Mostly because I wanted to just play. I wanted to play. And the best way to play is if you're the game master. So
Everyone needs a
um,
game master.
everyone needs a game master. Uh, I actually started chatting with my now business partner, Richard, and we just started chatting together randomly, talking about D&D because I was trying to learn D&D 5th edition.
Mm.
I had the only other experience I had was with Shadowrun 5th edition, and what's the name of that called? It was basically based off of D&D 4th edition.
Mm.
Um, I cannot remember the name of it, but you had a roll. It was one of those you rolled for characters. You didn't really create it yourself. It was a much more linear experience. So those are only rule sets that I had experience with. So he basically taught me how to play D&D 5th edition through me looking at, buying the books and me asking him questions via GChat nonstop. And that's how I learned. And then I got a group together and I ran about half of Curse of Strahd, and then the pandemic hit. Um, and then I started them, but then that's when Rough Magic took off. And so I started running paid campaigns and we started running other stuff. But then I already knew how to play D&D.
No, no, no. Listen, absolutely fair. Up until the point where I played Shadowrun, I thought that D&D was far too complex. Just just as intricate as you could get for a game system. And then they proved me so very wrong.
You had no idea. I mean, oodles and boodles of tech and items that all do different things.
Oh my goodness.
We
Well,
don't show it, but Shadowrun could have. We've only had one shopping episode on Shadowrun, and that's very surprising.
and
Because,
that's where you got your Hello Kitty wings.
yeah,
Your
that's how I got
howdy kitty wings.
my howdy kitty wings. That's right.
I cannot tell you how sorry I am for that.
No, you don't have to apologize. I love it. It makes me very happy inside.
Well, as far as your GMing goes, how would you describe your GM style? Are you more rules of cool? Are you more just like set in stone how the book goes?
I love rule of cool. That's the whole point. If you can make a character or a player make their character feel awesome, make them feel like an actual hero, and make anything feel cinematic. That is generally what I towards the lean to. I think my style leans towards the cinematic and making actions feel cinematic, even if they are. I do try to encourage my players to stick to the rules, and often I will use rules as written unless it's dumb. Like, unless
Completely
it doesn't
fair.
make sense, and I think they should be able to do it. So I will go back and forth quite often. It really just depends on how cool the player's idea is.
No, that's like if you can make me believe it, then I will.
Then I'll make the rules believe it.
I can't say that I've ever DM'd a real game. Just a little bit of Fungeons and Flagons, personally, that where I didn't understand the rules at all, and it was just like, oh well, I have enough of an authoritative voice to be able to tell them what to do. Um, it was still incredibly fun. So all of it was the cinematic and almost no rules unless I really wanted to take a moment and, look at the book, which happened a couple times. But
Yeah, I'll say I've honestly had this kind of it's like I'm going over hills with how I do it because it's as I learned the rules more and more and got more into them, I was kind of like, oh well, it's more, the rules are more important. And then as I played more and more, I was like, oh, the rules are not that important. And now I'm kind of riding this middle ground. The more and more I've game mastered, now I've done it professionally for years and years. Is the dice tell the story just as much as the game master and the players do? And so
100%.
like you have to let them tell the role. So much so that generally if I'm playing in person, I don't use a dungeon master screen. I just let unless I will use it early on if they're like level 1 because
Mm.
you
You
know
don't want
you
to
know
kill them.
I don't want to kill them, right? They're attached to these characters, but as soon as they hit level 3, all bets are off and take off the gloves. Like it's time.
You got another character in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, no, no. That's absolutely fair. I fully understand why some people go ahead and hide because it's and not always because they want to fudge, but sometimes it's because you know for the sake of the story, the adventurers don't always know what they're what if what they've done is enough. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like if they do some damage and you're rolling for defensive, I can absolutely see wanting to go ahead and keep that private from them to be like, "Oh, well, to you, it looks like this," as far as what
For
you actually did.
story driven purposes, it makes more sense.
Mhm.
For combat and things that are less driving to actual arc, um, I say let them roll, let them see, because it gets players more excited too, because then they can like get into it, and if they see the number, they can help either describe the action based on the number, or like kind of help tell me how they defended to help make it more cinematic.
Absolutely. Plus, I'm in love. I don't know how much you watch as far as streams go, but that moment where all the players like look over, they like do the lean to
Yeah,
what is that? What is
like what is it?
and those moments are so precious to me when watching. I can't say that I've been in a lot of campaigns in person where that matters because I got nerdy about the time that the pandemic hit. Um, but as far as like watching those, they're amazing. Just
Yeah, I when I run less in person events than I used to, but I used to run games in almost all of them. So I was running one shot adventures for strangers and people that bought tickets, and I started. A lot of these happened in bars and breweries and restaurants, and oftentimes it was very dark. And my friend bought me some light up dice, and I started using those mostly because I have a hard time seeing the numbers on my other dice.
I can
uh,
understand that.
but
As too old to be this young, I fully understand that.
Yeah, exactly. But the players loved it because then they'd be able to see my rolls from across the table as it lit up. And so like it just really encouraged me to like let the players see and help let the dice guide the story as much as I am.
100%. It feels like a prophecy.
It does, right? It does. We're all in reading this prophecy together at the same time. It puts us in the room, experiencing the same moment at the same time.
I love that so much. Well, of course, working into that, you are a co-founder of Rough Magic. Can you tell us a little bit about that company and how it was created?
Yeah. So my business partner Richard and I, it's like I said, it started over G chat. We started chatting and talking to each
Which is
other. Both of,
hilarious to me.
it's very funny, right? Very as I'm told, very millennial of me. Uh, and but we started chatting. That's how we got started. We both have history. We both have a history of being professional actors, directors, writers in the Chicago theater scene. So we had each had a decade under our belt in professional theater.
Mhm.
And so we definitely understood how to create events, how to create performances, how to create experiences that would make people come and buy tickets. So we started talking about how hard it is, A, to get people together into a room to play a game, and B, how much work it is to put the game mastering side of things onto somebody else. Or if you're doing it yourself, how much money that is involved in buying all the books that you need, all the time that is spent memorizing, all the extra stuff that people don't think about, creating maps, finding maps, all those things that really make the experience worth doing, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of work.
I mean, if you're only factoring the money into it and, getting people the books, I mean, sure, you could have someone, reading the book at the table, which sometimes absolutely necessary. If you're just like, oh, well, how much necrotic damage does this specific spell do? Okay, yeah, yeah, look at the book. Go ahead
Yeah,
and check it out. But if you need to check every last little thing, no, some like
it'll slow
if you
things
want
down.
to, yeah, it slows things down. It bogs it down, and so long as all the players are there and fully there, like combat can just be a cinch, especially with someone who has made their living being a DM
Yeah.
or
It
GM, however.
or GM. Well, Dungeon Master for D&D, like that's their term. I use Game Master because it's agnostic and it applies to mostly everything. Every system has their own name for it, right? So
Mm.
I think Deadlands, you're the marshal, right? So, which is super cool.
That would give me too much power.
I would literally get myself a little marshal badge. I think I have to now for the next time I run it.
That's so good. That's so good.
And again, I do need a cowboy hat. I don't own it, but like another reason for me to own a cowboy hat other than convoy is so I can.
I was about to say you can just pop onto Emerald Glitch as convoy. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. uh, but it's just a ton of work, and like I know we both knew, my business partner and I, Richard, we both knew there were so many people out there that would love a chance to try to play D&D or other tabletop role playing game.
Mhm.
They just didn't know how to get started. And I myself was in that boat. I had played Shadowrun in college, but that's because a friend knew it and like did the work to be the game master, to get the people together into the same room. And that campaign ended because like people graduated, people moved. It happened, right? It happens. But we're like, how do you get people into a room and dedicate themselves to this? Um, the answer is use our skills as professional entertainers to do it.
No, absolutely. I can absolutely understand that so many so many more times would it be the case that a bunch of people want to get together and play a game with each other than it is for that exact scenario to happen, but also have someone willing to put in what if they're learning a game from scratch, you know, at the very least days, if not weeks, of like researching and getting comfortable with the
Mm-hmm.
system, and working through with the players, making sure that they kind of work into the story, making sure that everyone gets their moment to shine, if not moments to shine, depending on how long of a campaign that you roll with.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's and that's if you're using something pre-written, right? Like that doesn't even take into account if you're creating something from scratch, if you're doing a homebrew world,
Oh
right?
yeah.
There's a ton of artistic and brain power that goes into it. And so and another part of it, since I was still getting into it, I was trying to find ways to play. Um, Game stores will often offer like Dungeons and Dragon nights or chances to play different TTRPGs. But I myself like went to one of these, and they were running Adventurers League. Um, and I had a hard time. I had a hard time understanding the rules, the specific rules. Like I had learned D&D 5e, but Adventurers League has its own set of rules, which there's forums and stuff, and you can do the research, but it was quite a lot of work. And then when I got there, the experience wasn't what I had in mind. They were seating eight players to a table. Everyone was cramped in. It was very loud. It was very hard to hear anything. I could barely hear the person sitting next to me, let alone the game master sometimes. And sound is always a problem when you run to events and such, but
No, absolutely.
it was very difficult. Like knowing the rules, was able to still have a good time.
Mhm.
But looking at it from, you know, someone who might not have any experience, you couldn't just walk in off the street and play that game. You couldn't do that. That's not a possibility. You have to know the rules. You have to like do work ahead of time in order to be part of those sorts of events. And we wanted to offer something that would allow anyone. We want Joe Schmo to come in off the street and be like, "Oh, I I've always wanted to try this. How do I do it?" And we're going to teach them. We're going to teach them over the course of 3 to 4 hours. They can have nothing in hand. We give them dice. We give them a character sheet. We give them a rundown of how things roll or how things work. And we teach them while they play a full one-shot adventure. And I'd say about half of our customers are people who have never played before.
That's on it. Well, you know, after seeing the boom of the D&D culture, the actual TTRPG culture in general booming with video games, with board games, just more people, it becoming slightly more accessible to at least intrigue people. That's still that's still boggling to me that if half the people walk in just nothing in hand, just like I kind of want to, I kind of want to play with a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. I had I'll never I had one table, and I don't remember when this was. It was when we were first getting started. It was at one of the first venues that we had booked. But I had at my table a guy who had been playing since the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and I had a investment banker who had never played before in his life. Like, he had come from work, he had like he looked like a banker, like, and he like sits down and he goes, "Okay, what do I do?" And
Do I roll this?
this guy got into it as soon as I gave him the rundown of like how stats work, and basically like, just roll this d20 if I ask you to roll something, and then you're going to add one of these things. And he goes, "Oh, cool." And then I told him, I'll present a situation with me, and you as your character tell me how you want to approach that situation, or how, if you want to do something. And he just like, he was like, "Oh, that's what it is." He's like, "Oh, okay." And then next thing I know, I've got, a nearly, I guess it would have been a 48-year veteran next to a guy who just started playing tonight. And I'm just sitting there as they have like a 5 minute, 5 full minutes of role playing back and forth. And I'm just like, just evil genius, loving my life. And like, those are the sorts of experiences that we want to bring to people, or at
No,
least
no, no.
put an event together that allows the possibility for that experience to happen.
No, no, I absolutely. That's kind of the experience that I was kind of geared towards whenever I was trying to figure out Shadowrun and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, Max is fantastic,
Yeah.
especially given the fact that what Amber and Chris were already like very into the system. Like, they knew what was going on. They're just like, hey, I balanced my character perfectly. There is,
Yeah.
no essence left, or anything like that. And
Right.
then there's, I feel like even you're more experienced than I am.
Well, I
Uh,
at least had Shadowrun 5th edition
mhm.
on my belt, right? And my friend who ran that for me back in college, when 6th edition came out, he ran 2 sessions of the new edition. Um, so
Well, I
like,
mean,
I at least
fair.
had a little bit of experience, but I'm still looking at my character going like, am I bad? Did I make
if
a bad character?
if Goose
I
is
don't
out, does
know.
that mean that I have to like split or like go with like a different drone? Or no, no, the most that I had done is, by that point, is Fungeons and Flagons plus so Rem does run a personal campaign which I'm a part of. Um Even then, very forgiving. Very
Yeah.
forgiving with how much I knew the rules at the very beginning.
I played with Rem at GaryCon last year for a
Mhm.
one shot, for a streamed one shot, and yes, very forgiving, which I was very thankful for, because I was like, I have not played Shadowrun in over a decade.
No, it gets fun. It gets fun, and I love the level of expertise that you can kind of expect from DMs like that, where it doesn't matter how long you've played. It and even with veterans, it doesn't necessarily matter all that much, because like, it's still entertaining. It's still entertaining to
Yeah.
listen to, and at the very least, it's a refresher, and at the very peak, you're witnessing, another nerd being born.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I felt like when our Cole had his magical awakening. That's what I felt like I was watching when this investment banker realized like that TTRPGs were for him.
I love
It was
that
a
so
nerd
much.
awakening.
Oh my goodness. Well, uh, I think we already talked a little bit about conventions, but what conventions is Rough Magic coming to this year, or just you individually, and which one are you most excited for?
Well, GaryCon is next week in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I love GaryCon. I would say you should go, but I'm pretty sure it's sold out. Um, but it's incredible. I love it so much. I got to go for the first time last year. Um, Sarah Moore, who is also on Gen Con TV on Friday nights with Sarah's Table, she's like, you got to go. You got to go. If you go to any, you got to go to this one. And I absolutely fell in love. It is a smaller con. I think last year they saw like 5,000 people, but it's just completely. dedicated to just playing games all weekend because it's in memorial of Gary Gygax, and all he wanted to do is hang out, drink good beer, eat good food, and play games with his friends. And so that's what the entire weekend's about.
Listen, I have a cruise coming up, but you are making me reconsider. You are making
I'm telling you. And we've got a booth there. Rough Magic will be there in full force. We do have a booth there, so you can come by and say hi if you're planning on going. Maybe purchase some dice or other things that we've got there. And then we've got a couple of game masters who are running games there as well, independently. So you might just play a game with them, which is pretty cool. And then we're doing, that's next week. And then in April, at the end of April, we're going to do C2E2 in Chicago, which is Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. That's what the C2, two C's, two E's stands for. And we are running all the TTRPGs for C2E2 this year. So we will have a suite all to ourselves. We've got 20 tables dedicated to just gaming. So I've got, we have the possibility to run like 160 sessions over the weekend.
Whenever you say all of them, what do you mean by that?
We're running all of them. Like, but the room dedicated to TTRPGs is our room. That's the room we're running. So I've got tons of game masters signed up through an entire weekend that are going to be running these games. And we're not doing just D&D. We're doing a large plethora of games. We're doing all sorts of stuff. I think we've got one for Lancer. We've got a few people, I think, that are running Blood on the Clock Tower. So we're really going all of our kids on bikes. I've got a huge long list. But the D&D that I know for sure we are running is we have created a brand new 3-session arc. So basically it's like a mini epic. So we have 3 different sessions that tell a story over those three sessions that we've created from scratch for people to play. It is part of our Questers Guild, which is our answer to Adventurers League, where you can basically create a character based on the rules we've set through D&D, and you can level it up after each session. So you can play with the same character, get a sense of story, while still having the casual nature of sitting down and playing without having to do much work.
How long are those sessions?
We have 3-hour sessions right now. That includes setup and takedown. So we're looking at 2.5 hours. We're keeping things pretty tight. Just because, people got other panels, they have celebrities to see, they have to get, the McElroy brothers are there, I think. So like they might have to get autographs. So we're really keeping in mind that people are going to be going to a lot of different things. So we want to keep the casual nature while also allowing them to have that level up and story-driven experience.
Completely fair. Also, without anyone who does want to see what's going on, but just happens to have something else going on, like letting them know that they're not going to be missing anything,
right?
If they head out.
If that 3-hour is too long, we'll also be on the floor running 1-page RPGs that will last an hour. So we'll have an even more casual experience down on the floor where our booth is. So next to the gaming area.
Oh, absolutely fair.
Yeah. We're really excited about it though. Questers Guild is, something we've started doing, I think about a year ago. In April. Yeah, it'll be a year. So this is like the launch of our season 2 as we start like a new chapter in the story. But we have this completely original world. All of our game masters have taken on and created different guilds. So for our 3-session arc, we have the Exterminators Guild and the Subterranean Seekers Guild, I believe. So they are basically guilds. So all their quests revolve around whatever their guild is. So for the Exterminators, you can imagine you get sent to go kill a bunch of creepy crawly stuff.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
right. Subterranean Seekers is they're going down into the subterranean areas to discover, map, and do all sorts of that stuff. And so what we've done is we have a total of 5 unique sessions. So you can play up to 5 unique sessions at C2E2, and they run parallel to each other. So let's see if I can do this. So you have Exterminators Guild Session 1, and you have Subterranean Seekers Guild Session 1, and then you have Session 2, and then Session 3, they come together to have the final like epic conclusion. So you can get little Easter eggs if you play all of them. You can only level up a certain number of times, but if you play all of them, you can play with the same character. You can get extra gear and stuff, magical items and stuff, extra gold for your characters. And then you can spend that gold at one of the tables with our shopkeep, who has a list of items you can purchase with your hard-earned adventuring gold.
Oh, that is awesome. I love the idea of it keeping the same structure throughout the multiple sets. Oh, sorry, I'm just absolutely in love with that idea. I love that so much.
I love the best thing about playing TTRPGs at conventions are the epics. It's a
Mhm.
sense of like being connected to everyone else in the room, even though your experience is somewhat relegated to the table you're at. It's so awesome to play in an epic because you know other tables are playing something similar, something close, but you know you're still connected. So it's our hope that we can really dive into that feeling where other tables' decisions or successes or failures can also affect your table. So that might be if they succeeded on something during one of their other quests, they might have a chance to throw healing potions to another table if they're in need.
That would be insane. That would be, or if one of them critically fail and
And
take
then
out
and then another table gets sneak attacked, right?
exactly
because they
that is
because they
crazy.
failed and they didn't stop, the extra wave of bad guys. Well, everyone gets an extra wave of bad guys now.
I am absolutely in love with that. I can't help but feel like that's kind of the reason why people go to conventions, just to feel like part of a bigger whole.
I mean, that's why I love conventions is for that reason. So we for our last two projects that we worked on, we've really been focusing on the micro versus the macro feel of what an adventure entails and
Mhm.
how other tables can affect each other, and so that you can feel connected to them even though they're having a different experience.
Sorry, I'm still just kind of giddy over that. You're making me want to go like really bad.
Well, it's here. You know how to.
Well, as far as your more as your more personal you know game sessions go, we know that you've been expanding your reach uh, with people like Max, our GM for Emerald Glitch. What other cities have you been able to expand to recently, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so we've been we're mostly in Chicagoland and the surrounding suburbs. So that's where obviously where we got our start because that's where most of us are located. We're now expanding into Jacksonville, Florida. We've got a place in Indiana. We're hoping to expand to Milwaukee soon. Our hope is that we can offer this experience in a lot of different places, mostly because it's like a few places do it, but generally they are, like I mentioned, board game places, game stores, or a combination of like board game cafes that offer
You're
that
aiming
sort of
for that
experience.
direct to you experience.
Yeah, we're hoping with partnering with venues that are looking for events because our drinking and dragon events are a lot like, say, pub trivia, right? It's something that people can sign up for, go and play at the bar while enjoying whatever that bar or restaurant has to offer. So you can enjoy the beer, you can enjoy the food, you can enjoy whatever they have, as well as the ambiance that they've already created.
Fair, fair. Without having to be locked down to a certain spot necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like right now, I think we've got something like um, 13 or 14 monthly events going. And those are spread out throughout the city and those other locations I mentioned.
Mhm.
Um, and so now and if we're definitely looking to expand because we know that like there's a want for it. People really want to play and they want the option to have that casual sit down experience. Um, and if you're looking for something more serious, like a full on campaign, we offer those as well, just in a more private setting. We just don't
Mhm.
do that in the big, larger sense of event settings.
No, no, no. I definitely get that. I definitely get that. Well, because we are getting down towards the end of it, um, Christian, do you have anything coming down the pipeline?
We sure do. I mean, like I mentioned, we've got tons of we've got two conventions coming up, GaryCon next week and C2E2. If you're planning on coming to C2E2, come check us out. All the games at C2E2 are free. That link that got dropped in the chat, that is specifically for the sessions that will be published The different tables and such that we're going to have descriptions and titles of the adventures and the tables that game masters are running. So you can find one that's for you, find the system you want to play, and sign up for it. There are no events live yet, but if you go on there and click follow, you'll get notified when we do publish them. So we're just finalizing scheduling details with the convention itself because we want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. But that will be happening very soon. Additionally, we are working. This is something we did back in October. We created a brand new world, a brand new rule set, and a whole new immersive experience that couples a multiple course meal with an adventure.
You had
And we
me
did
at
this back
meal.
in what's that?
You had me at meal. Sorry.
Yeah. So back in October, we ran an immersive experience called God Vein. And it was part tabletop role playing game, part like theater performance, part 5-course meal, to create this all encompassing kind of immersive experience where you had your own individual character. Each table that we had sold had a different adventure and a different experience, but we still had that final coming together at the end where all their decisions in the original quest affected the final battle, and they were all so everyone had a different experience, but all their experiences were tied together. On top of having this wonderful 5-course meal that was themed for the actual adventure. We had professional actors who played the NPCs, who gave the speeches, who like spoke with people, as well as our professional game masters, who we called weavers because the system calls them weavers and the world calls them weavers. And it was a rousing success. People really loved it. And that was definitely a trial. We checked it out. We had it at a very secret speakeasy restaurant, so we couldn't advertise it, but it was really cool. And we are now looking to expand that experience and do it at other places, and hopefully partnering with chefs who want to who are interested in creating that sort of menu that ties into the world and helps tell a story along with our game masters.
I used to be a kitchen manager, Christian. I just need you to know this for future use.
I tell you, it was really wonderful, and I can't wait to dive in and see other iterations of it. So now now that we've done it once, we know the formula works, and now we're looking at how we can do it and expand it.
I love your look at all of this, being able to take these stories and turn them macro, just because a lot of the time, like any given group will feel like, oh, we are all the main characters of this story, but making that many people feel like that they are a part of a bigger whole is just absolutely insane to me.
That's absolutely what we're going for, because anyone can have a very intimate experience at a table with their game master, but it takes a lot of work and planning and story driven thinking to create something bigger.
I love that. Christian, where can we find you?
You can find me at roughmagicgames.com. Um, you can go there. You'll find all our socials there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I don't love social media, but you can find me there. And I think that's the best place to find me.
Absolutely. Absolutely fair. And we got that going down in the chat. That's perfect. Well, Christian, of course we're getting down to the top of the hour, but it was lovely speaking with you. Uh thank you for all of your energy and everything that you do for the gaming community.
Well, thank you for having me, and I can't wait to play Shadowrun again. I'll see you next week, right?
I'm on my cruise. Just to let
Oh
everybody
shoot.
know,
Okay.
I'm gonna be gone unless anybody feels like coming through and turning on my computer. The rest of them can play, but I won't have Wi-Fi. So if you want to do
Good for you.
in our Coaless, session, which sometimes he is just
What's
busy
the
on his
point?
own. There can be an Arcolas session. It's okay. But okay. All
All
right.
right.
Well, don't go anywhere, NPCs. And of course, Christian, don't you go anywhere. We will be right back. And y'all do not forget that we have a wonderful giveaway of 50% off a 4-player online one shot with one of Rough Magic's professional game masters. Uh, Type NPC in the chat for your free entry to win. And don't forget about bonus entries. All funds help us pay our cast and crew and help keep producing content. Thank you all for joining. Now on to today's rebroadcast of Shadowrun Emerald Glitch. All that glitters is chrome. See you there, NPCs.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
One.
Hey there, Gen Con TV watchers. Welcome to another amazing episode of Shadowrun Emerald Glitch. I'm your host, Max, from the original box set, and we have an amazing show for you tonight. It is March 7th, and howdy, y'all. The group is back together to do some shopping in the sixth world. They might even do some legwork to get themselves a 5-finger discount on some of those purchases. Now, it ain't all going to be like going to Kong Walmart. Ain't nobody got to get dressed up for that. I don't want to spoil no surprises, so stay tuned and see what they get up to, y'all. Oh, and if you didn't catch last episode, it was a doozy. The two tech heads drove a target into the wastelands. No, not to give him some Lake City sleeping pills. Gosh, you people, we can't do that on this show. It's rated PG-13. Christ's sake. No, they had to take him home to his people. Isn't that nice? Our runner's doing a good deed. Heck, that's a lot. These guys, they might just be heroes if you ask me. Now, before we get started, Amber, what do we have to give away tonight?
Drum roll, please. For tonight's giveaway, drop a hashtag RemPC in the chat and you'll be entered for a chance to win one of two $80 gift cards, good for any Steel Rift product on Death Ray Designs website. That's right, there's two winners tonight. Our winners are going to be announced at the end of the episode and you'll be reached out to via Twitch Whispers. Now, you can get 7 additional entries if you subscribe to Gen Con TV today. And don't forget, for every 100 bits you donate, you get another entry. Not only that, you can help us players when you donate. For 100 bits, you can give one of us a nerf. That gives us additional die that we can roll. For 300 bits, you can give a player 1 edge, and 500 bits gives a player 4 edge. And if you want to make our lives a little more challenging, you can choose to give those nerfs and edges to our Game Runner Max. So, everyone, stay tuned for the show and take it away.
So, actually, it's not me. Not me at all. I'm just going to sit here and zip my lips for a moment. Because it's the players that need to go from here.
Fine. Nova. Zoom in on her face. Close caption. a vein in her forehead is beginning to pop. She's waiting for the clock to tick and like get her out of there from the stuffer shack from her shift. She thinks she's coming down with a cold. Or maybe she's just trying not to start a food fight. 6 o'clock comes around, and she's out the door.
Ooh.
Hey,
Which stuffer shack are you
convoy.
at?
Oh, the one in
Emerald City or the one in Northtown?
Northtown. Yeah.
Sonomish. You're in Sonomish one.
Snowish.
Where there are vampires.
Yeah. She's in Vampireville. Hey, convoy sends text. Hey.
Hey, just right back. Just hey. No other response.
Come get me before I'm food. And then I drop a pin, and you're probably wondering, how is she able to even do that? Well, she's been practicing with supervised playdates with her PMAX.
Amazing. OMW is the response you get back. Hey, Arkle, Apple Lead is getting pretty good. Look, check this out. I show the pin. I throw it over. Look what she can do.
That must be insane to her. About how... At this point, I'm assuming that we've kind of started to head back, because otherwise we would be on the other side of the wastes.
Just for reasons of gameplay, let's say we're just now getting back into town. Like, we'll say Nova's getting off work at right before the rain, right? Isn't that how it normally happens? So that when you're stepping outside, the rain comes in?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be 9 p.m., right? How convenient. So you guys are probably getting into... No, we said 6. You said 6 a minute ago, so you must have had an earlier shift.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll say that you guys are driving into town at this point in time. You haven't even come back, kicked your boots up or anything. You're getting off the highway. How's that?
God. I don't know how she figured that out. She must have found like an old MeTube tutorial online, I guess. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I reckon something. I reckon she's searching stuff, finding answers. I mean,
it's amazing what they can do.
Right? I mean, it's great to see that the love of learning doesn't go away at older ages, right?
You get 5 vampire emojis.
Next time on the gas.
And sorry, I was thinking about what to do on the ride over there. I guess we don't really have anything to tie up right now.
No, not really. I mean, you could also reach out to Techno Siren and be like, message them as well and see if, like, is the group getting together? Hey, we should talk about stuff. I don't know how much you want to drop on text messages about the stuff that you recently learned, considering that this data, that words that you put out there are never going to be gone. People will always be able to come back and read them. How much do you really want to share? So.
At this point, how long has it been since Arkle has had a good old pod sleep?
I'm going to assume that your friend gave you a kind of like a pass on when you guys got out there. There was a like a station where others like you have been living in and around, and there was an ESP there that you took a quick 15-minute crash in. Okay. So you've only been up for technically 1 day.
Okay, then that's perfectly fine. If it was going to be for the entirety of last episode, then he was absolutely going to shoot over the video that he had taken of the very handsome alien. But
Ooh.
in this case, he's going to hold off and just shoot off the group message, going like, "Hey, we're meeting up. We're going to go pick up Nova, and Convoy will be back with you about where we're meeting up. If you'd like to be involved."
Man, the text message just keeps on going, and then there's like a bunch of dots, and there's more words, and then more dots, and then more words, and you know, so it comes through at multiple different times, and it's like he's going back and he's just editing the last text a couple of times back to you.
Techno is lying on her very thick, plush, like white rug on the floor, like a little bit hungover from the party last night. I'm supposed to be like editing content, but I'm like daydreaming instead. I'm in the astral plane, but I get my phone message and I like roll over and I answer it. And I'm like, oh, thank God. And I like leap up because it's like been a minute since I've been able to like leave. And so I get up and I change like really fast and I'm on my bike and on my way out to where I should meet them. I assume that
Okay.
Convoy sends me the pin.
Yeah. Well, I don't send you a pin. I tell you, you've been to my place. You know where it is.
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah.
One
Right,
of the most
that's right.
important things, don't put his secret hideout pinned anywhere on any map. So I assume that you guys turn off devices and whatnot and stealth mode anything that might give a signal out. And I'm assuming also somewhere near the entrance, Convoys set up an area where there are scrubbers. So if you pass through, any RFIDs that have been placed on you guys get taken out. So, you know, it's all quiet like that. We are going to pick up then from the hideout. We will say that Techno Siren, you get there first before the guys get there with Nova. And so as you've come to a park, you can see Willie is inside the garage area. He comes out and gives you a wave. He has got like grease on his hands as if he's been doing some work. And by the time you've parked your bike and gotten ready to step in with Willie to wait for them, Mama Bear comes into the area of the rundown construction and around a few corners. And even in the late part of the night, now this is farther away from the center part of the city, so there's a drizzle of rain. So as Mama Bear comes into the area, she is caked in mud, sand, and dirt. She is in, even though she has a color-changing skein on her, she has a very yellow hue from being someplace, either in clay pits or out in a desert of some type. And so driving up, the door immediately opens to the garage as Mama Bear comes rolling in. And when she comes to a stop, even like the rain, the little bit of rain that she did go through, like droplets of mud or sandy mud fall from her chassis.
Because I'm still outside of the car before they get in, I like put my hand on her hood and I give her a few taps with my nails and I say, "It's good to see you, old girl."
I'll step out, be like, oh, and I'll do something similar where I pat her a little bit. I'll just be like, yeah, she's pretty happy to be out on some dirt. It's been a while.
Arkol rolls down the window right where Techno Cyan was tapping, and just, "It's good to see you too."
Oh, hi. Are you coming out? And I like open the door for you.
Well, thank you. I do enjoy being treated like a lady.
And I offer you my hand at that.
Why, thank you. He
Excellent.
pops on out.
So what are we doing? What's up? How have you been?
Well, we've been busy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just-
a little bit.
I just got off work.
Are you still in your Stuffer Shack uniform?
I sure am. I
Bright
take off my
orange.
jacket.
Aztec logo. So much advertisement on the backside of that thing, I bet.
Like a race car.
Ah, that's really cool. Yes.
You look like you could use a drink.
Some krill pizza would be cool. Can we get delivery here?
Ooh.
Oh, I mean, I got the. The fridge is stocked, so
You have
I got
pizza?
one. Yeah, well, I got one. Yeah, I got one of them good. One of those things that'll go straight from the freezer and make it for you.
All right.
Like, not delivery. It's
No,
Ah, you got the off-brand. Okay.
I was gonna come up with something and I lost it.
I tried to.
I was like, you set me up, and my mind
Yeah.
went blank.
Soy giornos.
I know.
So
so
sure.
there it is. That's
There
what
it
I was
is,
looking
there it
for.
is.
Thank you.
It took a second. That's beautiful. Is Duck in the car? Did we drop off? Okay. We
Yes,
dropped
you
off.
dropped the Duck off. Duck is not with you guys. So the drone kitchen set activates, and the krill and mushroom pizza slides out of its packaging and into the automated oven. The small rover from inside the fridge rolls out and comes over as it's already filled with ice and a collection of soy beers. Some regionally crafted soy beers, too.
So, man, we've been busy. So we've been driving a lot. We got Duck. He was nearly duck napped by Vottech. Got him back. And as payment, he set us up with a fixer, and we got a job. So we did a job, and on that job we learned a lot.
A little bit too much. I didn't even have the base knowledge. As our Cole goes ahead and grabs a beer.
Well, hold on, and I will go and I'll move my all my seating in the garage. Like I've got like a living area, but we don't hang out in there, right? Like I don't like we sit in the garage. So all my furniture is old seats out of various vehicles. So I move it and set it up as if it were Mama Bear. Like I get two captain chairs, put them up, and I put the long seat in the back. And I'm like, all right, you took some Tritio of this, right? Can we make it, put it out in AR and?
Oh yeah, no, go ahead and sit down. Go and sit down.
In it, right?
Let's
sit down. You sit
recreate
here.
this.
I jump into the back seat, the very, very back seat. Like,
Got it. You're about to have a hologram over you.
Scooch a little bit.
Yeah, just scoot over. Just scoot this way, just real quick. And I pop up, just a full cabin video of what I experienced with the extremely handsome alien. What's the name of the aliens again?
The name of the alien or the name of the aliens?
Their species.
Allurans. It's literally
Allurans.
Max cheating and just saying allure-ins. Because Max really thinks it's easier just to do stuff like that. Like if I ever
It's a good
chose to
name.
make aliens who were really popular with cooking, they might be tacoins. Sometimes
Taconians?
lazy as taconians, not burritoins. That's just kind of weird. Anywho,
And
allurans.
I pop that up with the hologram of one of the most beautiful looking Allurans in the backseat of Mama Bear, as they're extremely uncomfortable that I'm kind of just bearing down on them with questions.
So when this man, he is definitely taller, maybe close to 2 meters in height. He has very strong, like angular features. He looks like he has a very easy complexion, and his eyes are very and the eyes are steel blue. Everything about him is really like easy to rest upon his features and stare at. Even the hologram makes it look like he just came out, like he's in a movie, like he's an actor with a lot of makeup on and well crafted and
I'm
designed.
picturing handsome Squidward.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
So, and he is wearing a business suit, so, minus the tie and jacket, as were taken from him by his captors. And when he talks, his voice is smooth, non-monotoned, and cascades up and down in a fashion. His recorded voice, everything he's talking almost sounds like it's the beginning of a song constantly.
Don't forget that Arkol also got the smell.
Oh, yes. And since it can digitally recreate anyone who has the comm device, cybernetics installed, it will give you the sensation of the smell. It's a very light honeysuckle and vanilla aroma coming off this guy.
Now,
he is talking. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
You go.
I was just going to say. Now we had a very in-depth conversation once we managed to secure him. He ends the trio and says, I think both of you may want to sit down for the rest of this.
Well, considering they're already sitting.
Well, Techno is, but I don't know if Nova is.
Oh.
Oh, she's like she's walking around eating pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, who's the beautiful lady in this video? What?
Not lady. Called him beautiful, but from what I understand, he is a he. What was his name one more time? Specifically,
his species or his? Oh, his.
His.
Cools on. Unir. Cools on Unir.
That kind of does flow.
Right? Cools on near, cools on far, cools on wherever you are.
Stop. So we ended up with a new job from the fixer that Duck had connected with us, and we knew that both of y'all were busy. It seemed time sensitive and honestly rather straightforward, so long as we had a rigger. So we picked up. We were just told that there was a crater. We picked up his name is Kulzon Unir, and our job was just to take him back. But he was very gracious and he answered a few of our questions for us. Please, Nova, just go ahead and sit down.
I sit down.
He said that the reason why the aliens left was effectively an end of times situation. He didn't want to tell me more than that, but through a little bit of a situation, we were able to figure out more. And I saw it. I saw what the hive mind kind of figured out.
Yeah, they got like mind talking, like telepathy, where like it's less of a
like the magic spell.
I don't know, but it's just like he could share images and such with you. So it was less of a here, look at these photos, sort of thing, and like more of like an experience of feeling it. If that makes
And
sense.
it seems like the entire race could process this information at incredible speeds, as though all working as the same piece.
What did he show you?
I can't. Well, I don't know if I can really show you, but I can try.
Just, I mean, you can just. What did you see?
I forget the exact images. It was to be quite honest.
I do.
His mind was
Just remember.
blown.
It's 2 weeks ago, so I tell you, in the perspectives of we are all humans playing this game, sitting at these computers. You remembering every detail is and trying to remember every detail is wonderful. But we have somebody who more than happy to. So pass the torch.
I remember exactly this.
Dream sequence, spirit fingers, up and down.
Boom, boom, boom.
So they basically sense that something's going to happen. An event is going to happen that is going to dispel the destruction of the Earth, and basically we watch Emerald City raise itself up on the space elevator all the way up into low orbit. Would you say?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then
there's a flash of light.
With a flash of light with a... What's attached to the light?
A tail, right?
Yes!
A flashlight with a tail, and it, like, basically something happens to Emerald City. It explodes and falls to the ground, destroys everything. Comes tumbling into Earth. So, mass extinction event.
Now,
go ahead.
So since Technosiren is obviously, magically adept.
No, she's not adept. She's actually magic.
No, sorry, I mix up words. Like genuinely magic. Yeah.
Like this is your character's thoughts, not your thoughts, because like adept in the game is a term.
My thoughts.
Cool. Sorry, my bad. Keep going.
I completely forgot that adept was another term. Arcole wants to reach out his hand to see if he can pass off these images to Techno.
Yeah.
Since that's how it was, and he's just going to put out his hand and say, "Can I try something real quick?"
Yeah. And I put my hand on top of yours. What are we trying?
Now, is there for kind of sending those images over? I know that I'm effectively a 1 in everything on that.
You tell me what you want to do, and then
I would like to show
pick a stat. Pick a stat that you want to use. Pick a skill. Pick something that you want to roll that would emulate what you're trying to do.
I want to help in any way. My instinct is to do something with the astral plane at the very least.
Sure.
Like, at least start to perceive in that way so I can...
So,
Let's
he's
go
trying...
with memory.
Sure, you're going to try to use your memory to project these images to her and to Technosiren. And you've never done this before. You've only received it. So you only know the sensations that you felt when it happened. And I'm assuming you expressed this. I want to share with... And so hold my hand. And so... And Technosiren, you want to help by, like, peering into the astral and trying, like, to help focus him?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, then we will start with you. You two are now holding hands. For everyone else who is watching, these two are now holding hands. That's all you can see. When you peer into the astral, he's awake. He has become awakened. When you last was with him,
I watched it happen.
he was and the energy that is on thy present is pretty powerful and untrained, untapped. It definitely looks hermitic. And so what do you want to do to assist?
I guess the way that I'm kind of envisioning it is like if there's any way that while I'm in the astral, I could perceive whatever magical effect he is trying to initiate and lend some of my magic and skill to it to like kind of help it grow.
What skill would you want to use? What skill do you think applies to this?
I think it's got to be astral, right?
Sure. I mean, I'm taking...
Well, what is he using? He's using memory.
He's just thinking really hard.
What about...
Always.
Well, like, do you think that it would be... Because I'm perceiving it in the astral, but, like, to lend my magic to something, shouldn't I use my magic rating? Like, sorcery, maybe?
Yeah, you could do that. You see, and it's you think from how he's talking, what he's talking about. He's talking about a spell in particular, and so if you have that spell or he has that spell, this is a mute situation. So he's trying to cast a spell he doesn't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of cute.
Yeah. I don't think I know it either. I may know of it, but...
Nova posted it into our chat. Nova, what's the spell called?
It's called Mind Link. Mind Link allows the magician and one voluntary subject to communicate mentally, exchanging conversation, emotions, and mental images. One hit on the spellcasting test is enough to establish the link. The subject must remain within range of the magician for the Mind Link to work.
So if you know somebody who has some grimoires laying around that might have that spell, maybe make a phone call, reach out to a contact. You can go pick one up. But in the meantime, and I don't want to put a damper on everything, but while you're in astral watching him flail around, he is, in a sense, trying to spew magic and have it do stuff. But it is like a 7 or 8-year-old with a saxophone that they only pick up on the weekends. And it is all over the place, and it is loud and vibrant, and somewhere beneath the ground, an aged saxophone player is going, yeah, that's a good beat, man. Because to everybody else, it sounds horrendous. So, but you watch this novice spellcaster thrash about and try to do something. You see tiniest wisps.
I'm the old man saying, yeah, that's a good beat, man. And I can't find it.
So, your memory test is going to fail. You remember as best as you can. No matter how many successes you get, you're not going to make it happen, but you're going to provide the onlooker with an exact understanding of what you're trying to do, and you're trying to cast the Mind Link spell.
Okay.
So you know what he needs. He just needs to have that and get the skill behind it.
Right. Okay.
Meantime, to the rest of the world, they're just standing there holding hands.
Nova and Convoy are just sitting there eating their pizza, just going.
Okay, but then I look over at Convoy and I hold my hand out in case he feels lonely.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, we're holding hands eating pizza.
Willie walks over and holds his hand out.
I'll set down my pizza and hold his hand.
But Willie, now you have to feed him the slice of pizza.
My social programming tells me that would be awkward. But okay. He'll pick up your slice of pizza and try to feed it to you. I think this is supposed to be fun.
I open my eyes and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. And I look over and I see this happening. I'm like, what? And I are your eyes closed, Arcole? I would like.
At this point, I'm assuming that we're kind of like letting go around the same time. Whenever we realize that like no revelation is like no actual transfer is happening. So, I'd say like roughly the same time, like unlink and then open eyes, and we're both seeing all this.
Yeah. That almost you have something going on, but we're both gonna need some help to make that spell happen.
Okay. Well, regardless, what we already told you, it's
Oh
you
yeah, I
know like end
forgot.
of days, effectively.
Woo, that all just came crashing back. I was very excited about the magic there for a little bit. Well, I mean, we already knew about the dragon, right? Like that's what the light with the tail is, right? You don't think so?
I mean, we
Nah, we had a timeline on this, and it coincides with Haley's comment.
I'm assuming that convoy is still holding hands right now. Just
Yeah, I'm
locked in.
still holding hands.
Is the ritual done, or do you still need the?
No. It's not going to be. We need another. See, we disconnected because it's part of the ritual, but you three need to keep on holding hands. Actually,
For at least a little while longer. Like what was it,
All
like
right.
3 minutes? Right?
but yeah. That is effectively what we were told. I'm glad that we were able to get it out of him. It doesn't seem like any part of their species wanted to let anybody know. It seems like this is not the first planet that something like this has happened to, or not, or at least the same people. Something like this has happened before with them, and they find it easier to not tell us.
Yeah, it was it was kind of like a that kind of weird thing where psychics get premonitions, but they also can't save themselves from falling downstairs, right? So like feel that kind of vibe, and like like, oh, we can't do anything about, like, we know it's happening, but of course we can't try to stop it or anything, because that would be
This feels
wrong.
very Nostradamus.
Well, someone always saves the world, though. Like every TV series ever, there's always been an apocalypse, and then somebody say, like, we're not seriously thinking about just like letting it happen.
Well, they were gonna. That's why they're leaving.
Well, that's
But-
them, though. But like, I don't know. Aren't we like superheroes? Isn't that like our thing? Aren't we gonna like kick some butt?
Whoa,
Like-
I was in it to
We're
be
getting
a crim.
paid. But what New Yen doesn't really matter much if the world's gone.
There it is.
How do we know it's the world and not just Emerald City? There are other cities out there.
Like dinosaurs, Remember
Weren't we
that?
trying to destroy Emerald City?
Remember that last extinction event? Very
I'm
similar.
gonna dino your sore if you don't stop.
I wasn't calling you a dinosaur.
all right.
Look, there was also, like, what else did we learn? There was something else he said. He was talking about don't they have like a water spirit or something trapped up there?
You asked him. Do you remember what you asked him for that to come out? Because you asked several questions, and the last question was, well, how do we...
Yeah.
There you
how do
go.
we stop it?
That was exactly. What was the answer?
We had to free, like, they're using a water spirit to make it rain. That's how they can make it rain on time. So we got to free that water spirit.
Oh.
That is the answer we got, right? Something similar. It was very, very vague and
The exact phrase to share, and you can go back, watch the other video. Someone needs to free the water, to free the free spirit that is being used to control the weather. They will cleanse everything and bring the world to a new so that mankind can survive. Never said that you would survive, but mankind would if that spirit doesn't get free.
As Convoy is struggling to remember all of this, I pop up the Tridio moment of that.
So when he pops up the Tridio and he starts playing with it, he hits hard reverse and goes back to the beginning and starts playing it. And as you guys are watching, the AR image, this voluptuous troll woman in combat armor comes up to the driver's side window and starts talking to Convoy before there's a sudden fast forward button and she disappears, and then there's the alien and the driving in the car and whatnot. And then he pauses for a moment and they're like, I don't know, those taquitos probably set wrong with me. Then it's fast forward again, and you see they're sitting at this place and it says last stop, and they're outside of the vehicle, and it's like, come on guys, let's just go use the bathroom. This is the last chance for gas before we get out there, so stretch your legs while we got it. And then there's driving. And then he goes, and that's the last chance for humanity. Okay, hang on. So that's what you guys put up with for like a couple of minutes. Fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind. And when he touches their hands, and when he's looking at our Cole, he says, "You're awakened. I did not expect that." His reaction on his face, you guys were in the moment. You guys were all in the moment. And see, this is why. And I would like everyone to do a judge intent. Oh, wait, is that what this is in this game? Judge intent, yes. Make a judge intent. Because what he says, he's like holding your hands and he looks and he like stares right at you. He goes, I didn't expect you to be awakened, was his exact words. And of course, the players weren't paying attention to the game master. And that's the best part about going back and rewatching your old memories. We're like, what the hell's going on here?
I feel like my judge intent pool might be too high.
I don't think that's correct.
Wait, I think I get edge.
It should be willpower plus intuition.
He just started adding dice into his pool. He's like, I like this. This is a nice big old round pool.
Hey, Tesla made my entire character sheet for me because I didn't understand what was going on.
Do not pass the blame on someone else. I'm not counting that. That's not possible. That's like your firewall and your computer processing added together. What is that?
What's your
willpower and intuition.
Yeah.
Willpower is 7, intuition is 5, so that gives me a pool of 12. Which is definitely less than what I currently have.
You do one.
Somebody wrote in 12, but it... Hang on. Yeah, it's got a 12 in the slot. Oh, and you know what? It's because you're not supposed to write anything there. It calculates it for you. You're supposed to write in if you get bonus dice. So that should be a 0, and that'll fix it.
Oh, fair. Okay, well, I'm still just rolling 12d6 right now.
Your memory is also wrong, and your composure is wrong. There we go. Fixed all
Man's cheating.
Lift and carry is... I don't know this game well enough to cheat.
His lift and carry is a 22, Nova. He'll kick your butt. He'll throw Mama Bear at you and an overpass.
Uncool. I lost all my essence in order to beat everyone else up.
It's not like I've had to carry anything. I'm a little baby boy. Who would hand me something?
Anyway, you still rolled really well.
There we go.
Oh, fair.
Character
No,
sheet's
that
fair.
actually is pretty good.
You still got 8 hits.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh
Still
my
got
God.
8 hits!
Looks like
Okay,
you're gonna have
well-
to take the roll.
I'm going to take that role. When he says that and the video continues to play, he starts talking about when the city rises, it is going to be power plants that cause material to scatter, and that is what's going to blacken out the sky and kill what is left in the world. And he keeps talking, but our coal in the back of your mind is like, the words are passing by like over and over and over. He didn't expect, like, how would he have known? Did he like think, oh, hey, it's just going to be some dude in a car? Like, it's not clicking in your brain that he expected something. Did he expect something of you? Did he expect you? Did he expect you? Did they know it was going to be you and Convoy? Did they know? Could they have? So you're in a lot of confusion or like what it meant, but knowing that they could like pseudo predict a future of some type.
I know that they all together can put together some form of hypothesis, but I think I think they might know even more that they're not letting on.
Pew pew pew, you have a temporary edge.
We immediately dropped off this the Aloran with who we got the job from, right?
No, you drop them off at their alien spaceship in the human civilization that has grown up around the spaceship's crash site. He helps you find a quick place to rest in an ESP, get you guys some food, synthesize some fuel for Mama Bear for the return trip, waved goodbye, and as you guys got within city limits, that's when the new yen hit your accounts. So that's been pretty much it. But to kind of the video, the alien basically said the Emerald City has nuclear power, a lot of it, and when it goes up, and he refers to it, the imagery, he says the imagery is of Halley's Comet. When the comet returns, it will destroy the city, and the city will not fall back to the planet because it's going to be high enough. It's just going to scatter through the atmosphere and leave a huge trail and dust debris that is going to blot out more of the sky. And with already the high amounts of heat and stuff like that, because in the game, if you've been paying attention, global warming hasn't been stopped. People are just like, yeah, it's fine. We were fine. The ocean's disappearing and shit like so. At that point, that's the catalyst, the breaking point, where everything just tips over. And somewhere along that line, saving this spirit is the answer. Or at least the answer they say that will save humanity. There's no Nuyen attached to this saving humanity thing, by the way.
Well, I mean, there's Nuyen attached as in Nuyen still existing. I do remember a specific question that I had asked about if there were any Alorans that were working at the base at the weather control base.
I don't remember that one, but I'll answer it anyways, and no.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Ooh, pop quiz. What corporation runs the weather control station?
Aries?
Wrong.
What?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
How do you think she's got so much money to buy a freaking space robot to send after you guys? She controls the weather. I mean, when you control the weather, you can make money all over the place.
Wild.
Ooh, an audience member is already pinned on exactly what I've been hitting at for a while. Yeah, look at that. That person has got some good old rusty Shadowrun lore skills. I'm loving it. Actually, I know who that is, so.
There's a good reason.
Not like he and I hadn't talked about the game's plot and like talked about like how to include and yeah. So
So, just some fun information we reckon you ought to know.
Well, thanks for having us over for pizza.
Apologies for the info dump. I'll be sending out the Spark Notes here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, if you could make a TLDR, that'd be
You
great.
called me old? You referenced Spark Notes just now.
I tried so hard to think of like an elevated form of Spark Notes. I just couldn't do it. But I'm sorry that this was all at once. We obviously weren't going to bother you all. Wow. But we know that everyone here has their own lives and everything that they live otherwise. It's just we thought that you should be in the know.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, I ask, we're just gonna chill and eat pizza and let this happen?
Well, for right now, Nova
it's
just got
not-
off a shift, and
Yeah, it's
Oh.
not happening today.
Okay. You're all very calm.
I'm loving that.
You're just like, we just thought you should know, and you might die. Like, hello?
Oh, by the way, end of the world and all chat.
Good knowing you. Like, what?
it seems like the Allurans processing, because of how many there are, it seems as though that it is at the very least far enough in the future to where it is not going to happen within the next few hours.
Days,
There's not
weeks?
really a time.
Months, right?
Months?
Willie pops up and says, well, I mean, if it is supposed to be the comet, it is not scheduled to be back in the solar system until, or anywhere viewable on Earth until 2136. So that's 14 years away.
Ah.
Probably enough time.
Oh, sorry, 13 years away. Sorry, Max just made a mistake. 13 years away.
Well,
So we have time. And
Okay,
if
but
we've got
what if we did it tomorrow?
we could. Just get ahead of things.
What are you doing? Trying to get ahead of the apocalypse.
You know,
Yeah.
the sooner the better, in my
Well,
opinion.
13
And if
years, I reckon
you-
we got a little time for legwork before we dive
And
in.
if you save a free spirit, they owe you big favors.
True. That's actually super true.
Oh, so we're looking at a two bird, one stone situation. We got the bomb, but can
Let's,
spirit just break the elevator? Can we just get a 2-for-1?
Yeah, let's let it cook. Let's let it cook for a minute, as the kids
Hey.
say.
So before we go to our commercial break, I will make sure to remind my players that the weather control station is on Seattle proper, not the Emerald City space city thing for the launching pad. That's two different. Vought does not control it. Vought has stake on it. She controls the weather tower, which is central to Seattle's Sonomish area. So That's where most of the rain comes from. Just to kind of give you guys a heads up to, for kind of like logistics. Now, that being said, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. You guys get to watch some of these amazing commercials, and we are going to go refill our drinks and do other things. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Have you got yourself a cup of Joe? Maybe a soda pop? Maybe a glass of whiskey? No? You should. And you should put in a hashtag RemPC. Why? Why, you ask? Well, I have someone here who will tell you.
Yes. If you drop a hashtag RunPC in the chat, you could possibly win one of two $80 gift codes that are good for any Steel Rift product on Death Ray Design's website. That's right, there's two winners tonight, so get at it.
Woo!
Anyone could be a winner. You just gotta participate.
You just
And if
gotta
you
participate.
really want that code, you can get 7 additional entries if you subscribe to Gen Con TV today. And then
Yeah.
for every 100 bits you donate, you get another entry. And not only that, when you donate, for every 100 bits, you can give someone a NERP, or for 300 bits, you can give a player 1 edge, 500 bits gives the player 4 edge, and it's not limited to players, you can also give them to Max to make it difficult for us. So, get to type it, I guess.
All right. The rain outside is coming down pretty decent this side of town. Willie has gone into the kitchen to put some shit away and do some picking up. The kitchen drone has also finished cleaning itself up. You guys are probably about, generally 2 to 3 beers easily into it. For those more harder drinkers, you're probably on your 4th or 5th. And for those of you who have a cybernetic body attachment doohickey dialysis machine cleaning this out of your system, I don't know how much. You probably already finished a case by yourself. I'm looking at you, Cyborg.
Okay.
So the talk about aliens and spaceships and rain and the spirits and all that have definitely got you guys in a bit of a, there's a lot to take in. I mean, as an individual, and the emotions probably are pretty kind of tense. Maybe they're not tense. I don't know. How do you guys feel about, somebody jump in on this?
I think Convoy, trying to sense the mood, will put on a song over the sound system in the garage. It's gonna put on it's a female voice comes in with a little steel guitar, and I'll just be like, yeah, this I don't know, this is kind of what I'm feeling right now. This is kind of like some big heavy stuff hitting us, but I don't know. This is a good oldie. This is an oldie classic coming out. It came out a while ago, but talks about heartbreak, and I think it's a good one.
Heartbreak. Turn it up.
Turn it up. Like, this is a artist called Violet.
Violet?
Mm-hmm.
I know Violet. Hold on. Is she still releasing music?
Oh no, this is an oldie. This is one of the classics here.
Classics. Yeah, I remember when she wrote this song.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I suppose, yeah. So you heard this. Yeah, you heard this. So this was probably on, top of the charts around there. Maybe. More, it's a little more. Maybe were you in the indie scene then? That's how you heard of it. What's going on?
No, I was there when she wrote it. Our friend Slick dropped a donut in his van and lost it, and he was really upset.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There are lyrics on the song about it's just rolling away. But, I mean, sounded more like it was talking about the van just rolling away, or life just rolling away.
I thought it was a metaphor for, feeling like things were spinning out of control.
Nah, he like lived in his van and he kept it parked outside of a donut shop. You know the one on Fourth and
Decatur.
Decatur.
Well, that kind of ruins the song for me a little bit, but
Oh no, everyone likes
Well-
donuts.
Willie walks up with another beer. Willie walks up with another beer. It's just like, it's still a good song.
Yeah, exactly.
well, hold on. now I'm curious. We're gonna have to go through this discography and figure out if I gotta know. I got some questions. Maybe not
What's
now.
the
Maybe
what's
not
the
now.
name of this album?
Name of this album? Let's see.
Ooh, you know what? Chat. What is the name of the album produced by Violet, the country singing elf, back in the late 2080s, early 2090s? Just country sounding albums, like, I don't know.
Donuts
What
and truck
do you-
tires.
Donuts and truck tires? Darn it, man. That's good. Donuts and truck tires. Oh. City Slickers. Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. Like, you can't spell album without bum. I mean, that one.
Pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
That's pretty good.
I feel like that's the EP that was released shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I say we go with Donut and Truck Tires for the name of this album, and the EP is You Can't Spell Album Without Bum. And it was a follow-up trilogy about Slick and his life habits.
Hashtag van life.
Hashtag
Down by the
van
river.
life.
Amazing. You guys are amazing. I love it.
Oh, because of our Cole has no idea because he has no information from this time period actually. But from what Gross has given him, Cole just says like I really imagined you more as an achy breaky heart kind of person.
Dude, that's even older than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, now, are you speaking about the individual song or about the genre of subclassical country music that is known as the achy breaky heart?
Billy Ray Cyrus is way older than me.
No way. No, there's absolutely no way. Okay. Now I know that you're just making up stuff.
Dude,
There's a genre?
Billy Ray Cyrus was born in like 1961. I was born in the 2020s.
Well, Billy Ray Cyrus was what some people would say was the catalyst for the subgenre known as achy breaky heart country. But
I'm so sorry.
he was
catalyst-
certainly not the first artist to achieve that sort of subtlety and not subtlety, but that sort of style.
I'm more of a Maria Mercurial fan.
Not gonna lie. Good stuff. Very popular.
I have
you
no
guys
clue
have-
what you're talking about, Nova.
Well, no.
She's more recent than. Oh my god.
No, you probably heard of her.
Oh my
you probably heard of
God.
her. Yeah, you probably don't. You just don't know the artist name. You probably recognize the tunes though.
Grouse will take a moment and play some of the music, and then he'll look to you and say, "Yes, I remember hearing this tune as well. We were in the elevator at that hospital when this played.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely fair.
This is part of the genre called elevator music.
Oh my god.
As soon as Arcole gets this information from Gross, he's broadcasting it across the pan, or rather, locally securely. Given that we are supposed to be, rather silent. I'm assuming that there is a way that I can do that.
Of course. Well, yeah. Grouse is in the AR. Isn't part of the pan too, so everything he says, everyone hears. He's not muted, so.
Grouse, you are stone cold, man.
He's not smiling or laughing. He just looks and goes, "It was definitely something I would never forget."
Maria Mercurial is a rock star, and I'm disappointed in all of you.
Hey, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say a bad word against her.
Who Weeps for the Children? Hit. Take It to Mr. Hit. And then you just hear her like grumbling and like going on and on about how cool Maria is.
Willie will bring you a beer.
Thank you.
Willie's like detecting people getting their feelings hurt, so he's like, alcohol solves problems.
He's not wrong.
Oh boy.
That social program that I added on has been doing wonders.
I'd love to think that you actually pulled a little piece of code from Duck to be able to implement that into Willie.
Why not? I mean, that's what his programming is about.
No, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
anybody else really music all day?
You can. You totally can.
Sitting in the corner, like with a tear coming down my face, nursing a beer. I'm a little drunk. I've never really listened to country music before. This woman is an artist.
I know, right? I know. Well, ain't nothing make your heart weep like a steel guitar.
Wow. Wow.
Oh wow, good stuff.
I think my beer is gone.
Willie will bring you a beer.
I have to bike home.
Willie says you could always just put it on autopilot, or if you need to.
Oh my god, I forget that that's a thing.
I can rig in and drive your bike home for you with you as your driver, with me as your driver. Since alcohol doesn't affect me.
I just like gesture to him to give me the beer.
He hands you a beer.
Yeah, I can put your bike on the RCC, so I can keep track of it.
That's so cool.
So
wow. I'm telling you, you guys, we're like superheroes. Have you ever really thought about it? We could be too.
What would your name be, Technosire? I already understand.
Pirate.
All right. You're gonna
Wait, I have to pick a different name?
throw in a. Well, I mean, you have to. We're runners, not exactly like superheroes. So
we all have our code names.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like it's built in, man.
It's built in, but also at the same, I feel like at best we're anti-heroes.
If you want to pick a new name, Arcole, that's okay.
I think Techno Siren. I mean, there's like a costume built into that name, right? There's a whole aesthetic that comes from those words, right?
Boy, got a little dizzy when I tossed my hair. But yeah, exactly.
And
this is basically like Iron Woman, right? That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
I gesture at Nova, who I imagine kind of is like, did you go far away when you got angry?
I did.
Come back. Come back.
Oh my god.
Come back.
Okay, I come back. I stand a little closer. I'm still upset.
Well, maybe we could put on your music now.
No, I don't think it would be appreciated in this company. You might appreciate it. I'll send it to you later.
No, I got it on right here. Look. I told you, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it. I just don't look. I think some of them got overplayed for me, you know. There's so
As a child.
As a child, you know, they were. My mother would play that song over and over and over again while she was. Anyway, I'm gonna skip ahead, but here, check out this one. I'll put one on.
As we're going through this whole conversation, at some point, Arcole locks in and sobers for a second and says, if we're planning on doing this relatively soon, I think that we should probably start the legwork work soon, because given I've seen how secure some of these locations can get, and it gets intimidating. Absolutely. I think that if we're going to do it, if we take a couple jobs and earn some more new yen, absolutely. We should get started on the legwork for this soon.
I'm for a heist montage.
I think that we could combine this with our Emerald City job. When people are busy looking over here,
we needed a distraction.
We can be
That's
releasing...
one hell of a distraction.
Do you think that the water spirit will try to drown us all when it's free?
I feel as though it could probably understand our intentions.
Well, y'all better get to working on learning some communicating with spirit spells.
That is all Techno Siren.
Yeah.
No, it's not, you guys. No, it's not.
Arkle, I heard you were magical now too.
Yeah, maybe it's you.
Maybe you should study up New Blood.
I like know things, but like there's no way I'm gonna make it do what I want. Like I could try. I could be very persuasive, but like
well,
yeah,
I mean,
we should study up on spirits and how
we should probably maybe that's first step, right? You go to university, right? You're near one, you're part of it, right?
yeah, well why maybe oh no. My teacher's name has
Curie?
I can't remember.
Curie? Sarah?
Yeah, I think so.
That's her runner name, but not the professor. What she goes by.
Hang on, where is it? It's written in my notes.
One of your contacts. It's one of your contacts. One of your contacts is
Yeah.
Make her do it. Make her do the memory test.
Valent.
There you go.
Roxana Valent. I didn't even find it. It came to my brain.
Good job.
Impressive.
Summoned.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, maybe she would help. I bet she would help. She must have known. She said she knew you. She knew you from before. She like saved you and all this stuff. She knew.
Saved me.
No, not you,
No.
Arkle.
Oh, okay.
She knew. Did she tell you?
It may get a little bit more complicated than that, but I don't know if I don't know if she knows about the entirety of what's going to happen in 13 years. I don't know if she knows all of it, but she
Whoa.
she told me that something was going to happen along those lines, and I hearing it a second time is jarring, and I can only take it as fact. I can only take that as fact now.
So she'd definitely help us then.
I mean, she knows something is going on, or she knows something is happening. So, I mean,
Why she didn't help you awaken sooner for me?
I mean-
That's very...
We also need to ask ourselves the question: why would someone be willing to pay us as much as they are offering to do something like this when, I mean, we know it's not for profit, so clearly they know something about what's happening, so maybe we're the
Yep.
distraction for what they're doing.
so just to kind of readdress, Yokomi was the gentleman who had gone and got himself a Johnson your fixer, or Steel Tiger's fixer, had gotten the job through Yokomi. Yokomi and Curie, as well as other people like Icarus, were all working together toward the idea of doing damage to the city, the Emerald City space elevator. They, for whatever reason, and like she said in her previous discussion, because that was some time ago, she had found this thing called a time crystal as part of a job, and she, as perks come, kept 2 of them. And when she was studying them, she had an astral projecting moment that led her to witness the death of hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions of people. And she didn't understand it, but she knew it all revolved around that space elevator. Then, and by the way, just to also kind of make sure to pedal in some of these notes, because a lot of stuff happens, and we've been playing this game for almost a year. Dr. Redstone was the scientist who Arcole came from one of his projects. Those details have not been explored, but Curie knows about them, or at least some of the details, hence why she found Arcole and got him out. 2, Redstone apparently knows a dragon, one that's willing to come back and show their face, to kill Icarus, a free spirit that was going to help you guys get your fake IDs. So, you've got like a number of players on 2 different teams that are doing things. It's Dr. Redstone is doing stuff with Arcole's past, playing around with, and by the way, as she did mention this, he was working on predictive or hang on a second. Chat. What was it that Redstone was trying to do? Yes. See if Bob's still around. Redstone, which is Bob's creation, he was working on some predictive technology.
It was the big sciencey thing that Nova never
It
bothered
was.
to remember.
That's the word. He was working. There you go. That's the word. Dr. Redstone was working on a program of precognition. Dr. Redstone was working on a program to be able to predict the future. And how did he decide to start creating people like Arcole? Was Arcole created? Was Arcole found and modified? These are good questions. Why is he working with the dragon? What benefit did the dragon have to be working with him? It's a good question. Why did the dragon come back and kill your free spirit? Why did your man who wanted you to go blow up the city to begin with suddenly change sides? So there's still unanswered questions. Still unanswered questions. But in light of that, I just hope that we can definitely look at all the pieces that we have laid out before us of what's going on. And kind of start seeing that there is a pattern. That's what we do. We're good with patterns, because we're humans. But if you're going to start doing some legwork, it's going to be a lot of legwork. Somebody was paying you to do this. And I jumped in and I brought around the extra bits of the story because we've been doing this for a year. And so, Convoy, you were saying someone was paying us to do this. Maybe we were the distraction for something else.
Oh my god, shadow running is more complicated than working at Stuffer Shack sometimes.
Only sometimes?
Only sometimes.
I always wonder what goes on inside those Stuffer Shacks.
You want a job?
No. But
I might kill my coworker. I'll need to replace him. You just let me know. I'll pull the trigger.
I don't know. I just look. There's a lot of strings that are all tied up in a knot right now.
I really thought that this was supposed to be more simple. A to B. Picking up, firing off, taking somebody out. You know, damaging the company's reputation, picking up an alien. What is all of this at this point?
A conspiracy, son.
Dun dun dun. So your next move. Go ahead. I was about to ask a question, but you seem to want to say something.
No, you're good. You're good.
You know, Arkle, you don't have to do everything that's brought to you as a Shadowrunner. You can pick and choose what jobs you want. And if this is something that you don't want to do, you don't have to.
It seems like with every job, it just gets more and more pressing. And originally it was to, secure our way of life. Because I can't get a real job at this point. There's no...
Yeah, that lady's got your eyeballs now, doesn't she?
Huh?
Not literally. She like scanned his eyes. So she's got his optical imprint.
There's no way that I can go about things the legit way. Originally it was for that purpose. It's just, at this point, if with what we know now, there's nothing left if we don't.
You can choose ignorance.
If I choose ignorance, then we're all dead.
If we retired like 2 weeks ago, we would still be on the same path to being dead.
Yep, but now we know. Now we know if
people watch people get robbed all the time and don't say anything.
I don't know, it's all giving a lot of like synchronicity. I kind of feel like this would have happened in some way, regardless. And you can choose whatever you want to, but yeah, then you have to like die.
How am I supposed to ignore that?
I mean, you could leave this area, right? Because like,
from what the alien said, it sounded like all mankind
Yeah.
And
here's the thing: the only way to be ignorant and escape at the same time is to have enough new yen to get up to space. But the only way to get enough new yen to go up to space is to do this job. See where we're at there?
We have 13 years to figure it out.
at this point, Arcole is what in his early 20s. That's like half of my life.
Is he a human?
Well, human enough. I if you expect me to be that, just knowing the fact that all of mankind is going to die, listen, it's not like I care all that much. It's mainly the fact that I won't be able to. What am I working towards? What am I doing this all for at this point?
All right. Willie walks over and hands you a beer finally.
All right.
It's his turn. I broke him.
Man,
Thank you, Willie.
We can get into the philosophical arguments all night. I mean, that's something. I mean, we can do that.
Yeah.
If we want, that's fine. But I mean, the here and now is we still got a job to do. I truly think that our path forward does not change that much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine to do it all.
If anything, this is finding out this information is a good piece of legwork, honestly. More pieces to the puzzle might help us understand some things. But we got paid today, and I'm very excited about what I'm going to buy.
Ah, show me what you're going to buy.
Time for some retail therapy is what I'm thinking. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. I think I need to make a trip to the junkyard, take a look around, see if I can get it at discount prices. But I don't know. I might go shiny new out of the box for this one.
Ooh.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will throw up basically their 3D models of Mama Bear with foldable wings that come out.
Oh my god, yes.
Come out from the roof so it could fly.
She's like a mama bird instead.
Yeah.
It's like a giant turkey flying. You ever seen a turkey fly? They can.
Turkey? Oh god.
Yeah.
I believe that
fly.
radio station in Ohio has proved that incorrect.
Well, they flew for a short period of time.
I like it. Mama Owlbear.
There you go. There it is. Yeah.
So, doing some of this therapy, the option of going legit means that you have to have real IDs that attach, and people can even flag you. You don't want to go legit for this stuff, man. You want to keep it on the down low, black market, 5-finger discount.
You muted.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Rex for Junkyard Dog. See what he's got.
Sweet. What was his contact and loyalty?
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
I don't know if that has increased since the last time I worked with him.
Did you give him any money or karma to increase his stats?
No, I don't know how to do that. I can do that though. I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, you increase his contact and loyalty by either spending karma or money on him.
All right, yeah. Does that take time to do that if you use karma?
Karma, yes. Money, no.
Okay. I would have used karma, so.
And we could probably say that there's some time to it. So it's here's my little list. I believe it's a ×2 to the new rating. Basically, it's you've spent time with your contact or done little jobs for them that were either freebies or something along those lines. You know what? I'm going to call it a ×2 and worry about the details later. So if he's a 2, you would spend 6 to get him to 3, and then 8 to get him to a 4. Yada yada yada.
Let's spend.
I know you got some karma back.
Yeah, I've got some karma. So let's spend 8 to get him to a 4.
No. 6, then 8. So 14 in
you
total.
14 in total? That's fine.
Yeah, 14 in total. That'll put him at a 4. And now you're going to put that on your contact for the loyalty or the connections.
Could you explain the difference between the two? Like, I got a general idea, but...
So when I roll, loyalty is going to be in relation to him picking up the phone or not.
Okay.
Connections represents how deep into his field he is. On a scale of 1 to, I think it goes to 6. I have to double check, but I think it goes beyond that. But on the scale, like a 1 basically says, I know a guy. But like a 4 says, I'm actually pretty far into the scale and I can get a hold of certain things. That represents like their ability to find particular niche materials, especially if it's restricted or requires a license and has like a high availability next to it.
Let's bring up connection to a 4, and then you said it'd be 6 to bring. How much is it to? If I wouldn't bring loyalty up 2, that'd be another 6.
It'd be another 6, yeah.
Yeah, let's throw another 6 on it.
Sure.
Math. There we go. So loyalty goes up to 3. Connection to a 4.
Okay.
I had some extra downtime that I didn't use during the last bit, so unless it's like months.
You shoot to this person, hey, look what I just found. I don't need it, so I'm going to drop it off with you kind of scenario. You know, just doing the nice...
Yeah,
loud. I'm loud? I'm sorry about that. How about... No, don't. It's me. I leaned on my microphone cord, and every once in a while that happens. How are we doing?
Is it better?
No. No? Good. You can't hear me? We should probably take a break while this gets fixed, while I figure out what the is wrong with this microphone.
Bye-bye, y'all. We'll be right back.
Hashtag RemPC.
Hashtag RemPC.
RemPC.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
What a spell! Spell!
Spells.
Spell! She says spell like 92 times. Spell! 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 Spell!
Oh well.
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
Welcome back, Rem PCs, to Emerald Glitch. One last chance to enter for your chance to win one of two $80 gift codes. Good for any Steel Rift product on Death Ray Designs website. So there are two chances to win, so you definitely want to make sure to put in that hashtag RemPC into the chat. And don't forget, if you subscribe, you get extra chances, as well as if you donate NERPs, what are they called? Did I get that wrong? Bits.
No, you got it
Sorry.
right.
All right. So if you donate those, you can also get extra entries. Get those in. This is your last call to do so.
Is it back on us yet? What's going on? What are we doing?
We're back.
Oh, it is. We're
Wonderful.
back! Remember, I can't see your video. It's like 45 seconds delayed. You gotta talk, man.
Oh, right. So sorry.
Now you're waving. So the Rex guy, when you reach out to him, I'm assuming that so we're going to talk about shopping now. All of us are going to do some shopping. They've got money, you've got money. Let's do some shopping, I guess. Let's talk about how in the Shadowrun universe this works. So, you have Rex, and Rex going to help you get a pair of wings for your vehicle. Everything you're buying is black market in some way, shape, or form. Everything listed in the book is black market in some way, shape, or form, because to actually own half of these things that have availability or some sort of legality code attached to them can be a crime, can be traceable, will have a code attached to it. And so you don't want that. So it's assumed that everything in there, pistols, ammo, so on and so forth, are all been modified to not have any traceable thing attached to it, save except for ammo, because ammo is such readily available all over the place. That's why caseless ammo exists, to kind of point out, hey, by the way, you might want to take that RFID tag out of your shell so that people won't see it. With that being said, every item has an availability number, and contacts have a connection number. That is the descriptor by which that tells you if they can get it. Now, the rules say less than. I don't care. I do equal to and less than. So if your contact has availability of 4, as an example for Rex, he can get anything. Sorry, I said that wrong. Because Rex has a connection of 4, anything that has an availability of 4 or less, Rex is able to get his hands on in some way, shape, or form. Now, if the item of interest is above Rex's availability, you have to pay for it by either increasing his connection by spending karma or cash. If you don't have the time that goes along with that character growth, that connection, and you just want it to happen now, you could throw money at your problem to fix it. The growth with cash is cheap. It is only 100 nuyen times twice of what it was going to be, and then the time spent. But if you don't have the time, it's 1,000 times the next level, one chance of this. So let's say you want an availability of 5 on Rex, you have to spend 10,000 nuyen to give Rex the ability to have an availability of 5. There are other things that can be done to boost this. Give Rex something, or get Rex in contact with another contact that has a similar field. Get an example. Let's say the Paladin. Does anybody remember the Paladin's name? Cool. Elwyn. Let's say you got the Paladin who has a connection of 5. And you want the Paladin to get you guys some nice grenades. Drone grenades that home in on their targets and will go around a corner. Which they do exist. This is throw a grenade and it homes in on somebody. That's some scary shit. There we go. There it is. I said it. There's our 1. He can probably get that, but let's say you wanted some sort of thermonuclear homing grenade that has availability quantity of 6. Nobody really wants to drop 12,000 nuyen on some explosive grenades.
you go find somebody who has a connection of 4, which is 1 point less than what he has. And if you work the two of them together, you're going to probably have to pay something like 1,000 or 2,000 new yen to the both of them to work together to find you those homing drone thermonuclear grenades. So let's get into the thick of it here. The wings that you want. What are the availability on those wings?
5.
5. So you're going to need somebody who has a connection of 4 or 3 to jump in on helping Rex find this. That person has to have some sort of skill set that is close to what Rex does to help him find these wings.
What about Esadon? He's kind of got a plethora of things.
Being a black market specialist, yes, he does. What's his connection?
He is a 4.
The two of them would work together, but both of them are going to have a price that you have to pay for them to do this work. So let's see what the loyalty says for Esadon.
4.
4, okay. And what is the loyalty for Rex?
3.
Okie dokie. So what happens now is you're going to make a charisma influence roll versus their loyalty doubled. This is basically going to determine an asking price. The net hits that the person who scores the most net hits is going to help adjust. It starts at 2,000 and then goes up or down by the number of hits. So let's start with Rex. He has 3, so I double that to 6. I hit the roll button. He made no successes. So now you do a charisma influence roll.
And what is that plus again?
Charisma and influence.
Oh, just charisma and influence? Not, I thought you said plus loyalty or something.
No. He's doing his loyalty test. So
Gotcha.
far, it looks like he's more than happy to take whatever you're going to throw at him because I got no successes.
This is going to go great because it's unskilled. Yeah, that's what I thought.
You made no hits. So Rex is going to want 2K up the door to work with this other guy. All right, and let's go ahead and see what... Esadon gets 4 successes. He's pretty set on making more than about $2,000 with working with this other guy. So it looks like you're about to drop $4,000 just to get people's attentions. You can reach out to somebody who's more charismatic than you to help bring these numbers down. I don't know anybody who has charisma and influence skill sets, but maybe you do.
Techno knows Esadon. Techno does not know...
Techno doesn't have to know Rex. Techno is now could work as your negotiator, your in-between. Jump up and be like, hey, this is a lot of money. He really needs this, and so on and so forth. But that's between you and Techno Siren.
Techno? Would you mind, I don't know, would you mind, you know, you have a way with words that are better than me, and I'd appreciate it if you could maybe sweet talk my contact here so that I can go shopping.
Love to bargain. I could probably what kind of person? Who are we dealing with? What kind of?
Well, you know Esadon.
buttons?
You know Esadon.
That's the lion guy,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And then Rex is you know, just a gearhead. One of those guys that doesn't throw anything away.
Rex was the gentleman who had the Anthro drone that you guys used to get into Hoopers. Remember, you found this.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't.
Techno wasn't there.
Techno wasn't there. Never mind. That was before Techno arrived at the scene. Never mind.
Also,
So wait,
I'm
Esadon
assuming
is not the
that.
lion guy.
Oh, sorry.
No. Sorry. What were you saying?
No, I'm just assuming that Convoy is still holding Nova and Willie's hands right now.
Willie bought people beer. He's not they're not holding hands. This is like the next day. People are shopping now.
Oh,
You're right. You've gone to Kong Walmart now.
sue me for hoping.
It did. They went on for a long time, I think.
Yeah, we
And
said
my
3
phone-
minutes,
Yeah,
which
it's
is a long
canon.
time in holding hand time. Yeah, would you mind chatting up, seeing if we can get a deal on this?
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Rex has made no successes. You can make a charisma influence roll. Every net success you get reduces the cost of the 2,000 by 100. You can reduce it to 0 by hitting 20 successes if that's even possible for your character. You can
Can I
edge
imagine-
roll and stuff like that. So
Charisma and what?
an influence skill like negotiation.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna make 20.
You could edge it.
Oh well, I guess I could. I sure could.
I mean, any discount is a good discount.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes, right? Let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
Because I can roll 14 dice, and I think so. To talk to Rex, Rex was rolling a loyalty roll, right? Is that right?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay, so that was like a test for how much he likes Convoy and wants to help him. I've never
Hey,
met him before.
That's correct.
So my just for flavor, I think my strategy would be like to go and like introduce myself to him and like
Ooh.
ask to see all of his stuff and act like
Oh.
really knowledgeable, like have my PMAX help me like speak about things a lot and be like, we're really upping our business around here. They brought me on board. We're like making a whole lot more money. I would like flash some of my like shiny fancy gear and I'd be like, but what we could really use is a guy like you on our side to like help facilitate. We can't always have everything all tagged and I'm talking to somebody who really knows what they're doing.
I
Can
like
can
that.
Arcole and Gross assist in this as far as seeming more knowledgeable?
Ooh.
Yes,
Considering
I
that
will
he's
let
always
that
listening to the
happen.
pan.
Yeah, I will let. I definitely could see that. So if you could make a, do you have a hardware? trying to remember the skill set.
Yeah, hardware.
Hardware. Make a hardware roll. Any dice that any net sits that he gets will add to your roll.
Oh, great. And then wait, do
You
I also
get-
get to add for
crazy.
my PMAX?
Yes. So
Two.
Arcole's going to give you 2 extra dice.
Two
Your
extra dice.
PMAX will be able to, because this is not her forte, she will be able to buy successes. She'll be able to buy 1 success, giving you an extra dice, so a total of +3. I like your approach, so allow you to have a temporary edge, 1 temporary edge to toss in because your description of how you're approaching it. So you have 3 extra dice, and then if you choose the edge afterwards, you have an extra edge to work with.
Amazing. Here we go. So we're rolling influence with
Yep,
+3.
Mhm.
And it didn't. Oh, yeah, it rolled only 5.
Ooh.
All right.
Oof.
How did I do though? How do I get it to show me?
Point at the number 5.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So I could.
You didn't
1, 2.
glitch. You did get 2 1s, but you got a lot of 4s.
I got 3 4s.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that? That's 4 edge to switch those as well.
Oh, it's
It's
Two.
two per.
2 per 4.
Oh.
But if you spend 4 edge, you get to re-roll everything that didn't score a hit.
Oh, I'll do that.
And you have 1 temporary edge, so you only technically need to
I
spend
just won
3.
Okay, great. Let's do that. Amazing. And then I just push this little plus sign, right? Boop.
That is correct.
Go for it, buddy. Hey.
So now we've gone from 5 to 12 successes.
That's pretty good. That's
real
pretty
good.
good.
That brings the cost from 2,000 down to 800.
That's
Thanks,
all right.
Rex. I knew you could do us a solid.
He tells you in the end that 800 is going to help pay for a couple of things, as well as setting up a small server so that he can communicate with these people, that's going to be secure and safe for everybody. He's making sure to do good for his friends. Now, Essadon made 4 hits.
Mhm.
So right now that's at 2,400. And so that's going to be the tougher call to try to bring that one down. Essadon is your contact. So what is your loyalty to Essadon?
I actually don't have him written down.
You don't?
No. Because if he's not the lion guy, who is he? To be
He is
honest
the lion
with you,
guy.
he is.
Yeah,
He is the
Essadon.
lion guy. Okay, well, I barely remember. I was being like flirted with by the dude in the muscle tee. It was weird.
Oh yeah, the
Right?
elf
Like-
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were kind of on your own thing then.
I mean,
we
like, I was
understand.
trying to get a discount there too. It's like I never got to find out if that worked out, but like I threw myself
No,
on the coals.
It did because at this point in time, that's still something that's retained. So I'll give you another temporary edge just because of that person and that interaction. And so if you go into this the same way, you could have 2 temporary edges to be following up this dice roll. Because that elf is still there, still probably like he sees you show up, or maybe he sees your face on AR and it's like, hey, that's her. You know,
Yeah.
You've
So I
already
would
made an impression.
Yeah, I would definitely use him then to get in and like see that. I'm trying to remember. I didn't try to seem. I didn't try to seem very knowledgeable on that day, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
correct. Mhm.
So I think though, and like the 4 successes on the loyalty, but he's still charging the full 2,000. Would I need to like make a judge intentions to know like why that would be? I'm just trying to figure out what buttons to push.
So that is nothing but numbers. He is
Yeah.
asking for 2,400 nuyen before he starts working with somebody he doesn't know.
So that's why,
That's all
because
that-
he doesn't want to work with that guy.
That's correct. That's all that number represents is I want more money to work with somebody I don't know and trust.
Well, now I know I have to convince him to try to work with that guy that he knows and trusts. That he doesn't know and trust. Okay, so then yeah, I probably got that elf's number, right?
Yes. And we will say his name is Michael.
Michael.
Yep. Human's parents and everything. Just I don't know, I just tossing a name out. I didn't want to
No, I don't know why it's so funny to me for an elf to be named Michael, but also like my name is Amanda, so like whatever.
Yeah. Raised by humans.
What's up, Mike? I would like send him a text and I'd be like, what are you up to? Can I come hang out in your garage and have garage beer and do like garage beer philosophy? Do you do that?
Make me do you have persuasion?
Yeah. I think I
Make a
do.
persuasion roll. If you get a two, if you get at least 2 hits, the answer is going to be yes. Please come by and have some drinks and hang out with us.
Is persuasion a
Influence?
skill? I have influence.
Influence. I'm sorry. I still think in 5th edition.
I was gonna say, are we playing
You
D&D
have
now?
so many different games in your head right now, Max.
Okay, here comes the influence.
We should play Deadlands one time.
What's that?
I'm down for that.
Me too.
Horror
Me too.
Western.
Let's go.
Horror Western.
Wow.
Woo, 5 successes. Instead of hanging out, he wants you to come hang out and do wait, what was that, Convoy? Is that it? Oh, snap. Another side story. We'll do that some other time. Instead of just coming in, you go and you drink and have garage beers, and you realize through the interactions that this guy is rather easily manipulable in the sense that he is very gregarious. At the same time, he is trying to fill part of his life with someone who will spend time with him, especially with the female persuasion. And you find that it is rather easy to get him to want to hang out with you, to where your first afternoon of hanging out and having garage beers, he wants to take you out to a concert.
I do love concerts. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, cool. All right. After spending time at the concert, which is purely a plutonic scenario between you, him, and a bunch of his friends from work, do you bring any of your friends along to this concert? Or do you go by yourself to be in the group?
Wait, I would ask if Convoy and Arkle and all my friends want to come.
That's the thing I'm asking you. Do you want to just kind of like, this is just you, him, and his friends? Or you and him, and you bring your friends, he brings his friends?
I'm asking myself which is the more strategic option.
Correct, because this is about manipulating to get bonuses.
I'll just go by myself. I'm just gonna go by myself.
Excellent. So after spending the evening with him and his friends, they seem to be a pretty decent group of people. Mostly elves. They don't have any racial bias in any way, shape, or form. They have fun. It is an outdoor event. There's drinking, some snacks and eating, but lots of dancing. And, yeah, so that works out to your benefit. So,
did Epsilon
when it comes...
Or what's his name?
No, he did not.
Okay.
But how this works out is now this side person, Michael, this elf, you have gained his trust.
Great.
And he is talking about you to his boss. Yeah, I really like her. Like her like what? Like, I don't know, friend, man? Maybe something's happening. I'm going to see if I can... And so he invites you out for another date. This time it's truly a date. Like, hey, I'm going to go drink beers at this old pub called the Greybeards. It's a bunch of dwarves and whatnot, and a lot of biking scene. I don't know if that's your thing, but I got a dart competition that goes on there, and I want to go do it. Would you like to go do darts? And so this is about the time period which it's been close to maybe about 4 or 5 days, maybe a full week. And Convoy's reaching out going, hey, how are things going? I'm just assuming here.
The long game. But I would say I want to go and have this beer, but I would hit him like pretty early on with like business proposition.
Ah, okay, cool. I want to do another influence roll. I'm only needing 2 successes for him to really feel that this is just a business relationship and a friend. But if you hit 4 or more successes, you're going to find a part of his personality that will tie in better. If you don't make 2 successes, he's going to think you're trying to date him.
Okay. Influence. I can do this. We got this. We don't even need... Look at that. Look at that. Look at
Bam.
that. Bam.
So he's much more comfortable now with you hanging out with him because he realizes it's about business. He's glad with that because he wants somebody to hang out with. And he reveals to you that he recently lost a family member, a female family member, that was his best friend. And so during some point during the conversation, it definitely goes into something a bit more personal about the loss of life and the loss of a loved one, to which you're helping feel that role. And he's like, I don't want to dump on you, but
I am an empath. I would like go with it. I would definitely like be there for him. And
he's like, I lost my sister. She was an important part. And, you know, coming and spending time with you has definitely helped fill that role. So I will give you him, Michael, the mechanic, as a contact.
Nice.
You will get this for free for this really cool role-playing like dish. We will give him a loyalty of 4 because you connected. And he has a connection of 3, but he is a mechanic, so that's really where his skill set lies. Now, that being said, you will be allowed to use his loyalty of 4 when you roll against the black market specialist.
Great.
So you have 4 more dice to work with. Now, so that gives you a +4. Does anybody else want to like toss stuff in to help out with Isadon to kind of bring those 2,400 down?
Liz, I can only feel like Arkol has been kind of every step of the way, unless Techno Siren has been actively disguising herself or hiding this from the pan.
No.
Then I feel like Arkol is in the back reading body language, just really trying to get in tune with all of this.
Okay, so are you talking about doing what are you asking that you're going to do to supply Technosign with some extra dice.
Hmm. What Technostar? What exactly are you?
Yeah. My strategy for this one is going to be like trying to convince them to expand their business. Like they've done us such a big solid, and like they're actually like the real players in town, and if they started to increase their connections, and now that they trust me, I want to recommend this other guy who I think can
Rex.
like yeah,
Mhm.
Rex, who can help, who could like really be a benefit to them to like really step up their
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Okay, then in this aspect specifically, I would like to look around within the same market and see exactly what statistics I can use in order to fluff this up. And for that, I would like to use honestly just a regular matrix perception just to check out
Sounds great.
yeah.
Sounds great.
Sorry, it
Whatever
takes me
hits he gets, go ahead. Whatever hits he gets are going to be bonus dice to this roll as well. So you have 4 plus this plus your normal.
7.
Yeah, right. That's really good.
So
But you want
good.
to edge that or something and no, you're good with 7? I don't know what you...
7's good.
Okay. So you have 11 extra dice to your dice roll.
That's a lot of dice. I wish I could roll them for real.
I know, right? Your PMax will probably give you an extra 1.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's 12 to
Oh.
your, I think you get 14. No, 17. So
No, I get 14. I get 14.
14 plus 12. So you're
Yeah.
under 26.
Okay, so yeah, I want to get in the room and sit down with both Michael and it's Epsilon, right? I'm saying that right?
Esadon.
Esidon. Esidon. And I really want to lay it out for him, and I want to be like, listen, you have really showed up for us. I think that you're like, if I dare to say it, you may be the king of the jungle, as they say. Sort of situation here.
You're playing into some stuff there. Okay.
And I just want to see you succeed. It's been like, I really think that you all have what it takes to become absolutely notorious in the city. Not that you aren't already getting there, but what you really need are like lackeys. You need more connection. You need more people that are going to like look up to you and help funnel things through your business. I guess what I'm saying is like, listen, I am the connections person. I know you don't know me very well yet. We just met, but like I can connect you with some people. And I know Convoy already brought this up, but he's just not really good about like talking about people and things like that. You know, he's very like tight-lipped and all that. He just doesn't say enough, you know? Uh, so I'm just here to like better express what we were trying to say, because that Rex guy, I'm telling you, he kind of he's looking for an extra outlet, and I think that you could really utilize his stuff. I'm rambling.
With the use of Michael the mechanic, that's an extra temporary edge, and your use of King of the Jungle phrase, that's fantastic. I'll give you another temporary edge. That's the most I can get you. So you've got 12 extra dice and 2 temporary edge.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how this dice roll works out. You need...
I just rolled it.
Ooh. Out of 26, you got 7.
I know it's not great, but what did I need though?
If you like, well, right now this brings it below 2,000.
Oh,
It's
that's
still-
right. That's
it's-
right. The
yeah,
more
this-
more hits that I
Yeah.
get, the lower it goes. Well,
Yeah.
I can
I have-
I can give you 2 edge.
I don't need it.
No,
I'm
or I
doing-
can give you a edge rather. But no.
No, I think
She's got.
I have
She
enough.
can't get any more. She can't get any more. She has 2 temporary.
Yeah,
You,
and
if
I
you,
have
you
I
can't.
have 2 that I
Yeah,
can
so
switch
she's
out.
got the 4 she needs.
Yeah.
There's a limit.
Boop. Go roll those dice. 13.
13. So I'll round it out to a nice round 1,000. You will take 1,000 instead. So,
It makes sense. You still gotta make your money, man.
Yep.
That's
and
fine.
Rex will take 800. And they're pretty much doing the same thing, setting up secure connections, a phone specifically for this individual that has a decent firewall and some sort of protective dongle on it and stuff like that. So the two of them are now working together. Together they have a connection level of 5. Sorry. What was it? 5? 6. 5. You now have 2 contacts that have the ability to find what you're looking for. That's it. That's all that had to happen. Now the 2 of them working together will be able to get it. And let me bring up the little charty chart and tell you how long it's going to take. Okay, they or someone you know needs to do a matrix search, which is based upon its availability, which we already determined is a 5. So somebody who can make a matrix search needs to do it.
Arcol. Arcol. Now, I want to be very specific. There's a certain model I'm looking for. Now, I know there's going to be a lot that are similar, but I'm looking for this one. All right. And if it happens to be like a charcoal gray, that's like bonus points. Yeah.
Charcoal gray specifically?
Yeah, it works, but it melds better with any color, really.
No. I completely understand. And with Arcol's very, very deep understanding of aesthetics, is absolutely going to be able to do that.
Awesome.
He's looking for a Hello Kitty pink. With 5 hits.
Oh no.
All right, success. That's what you needed. You needed 5.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
You were able to find the Hello Kitty pink retractable wings with Hello Kitty iconic imagery on it as well. Hello Kitty is not a supporter for this channel, but hashtag they could be. So this is Arcol, not Arcol, Convoy. Your comm goes off. It's Rex. It's not a text message, it's a phone call.
I answer.
Actually, you know what? We're going to do it this way. You're hanging out, you're in your shop, you're doing stuff, you're waiting for people to reach back out. Maybe a week has passed, right? You guys are doing other stuff during this time. Anyways, because it's possible, he sends you a message going, can we talk?
No, yeah, we can talk.
He appears in AR, because that's what he can do. He's now standing in AR inside your pan. He's like, hey, I got him. Your man, they knew some people, some stuff was done, and we got him. Are you really sure? Like, this is what you want? Have you seen these things?
Well, look, it's okay if they're not charcoal gray. I mean, I just want as long as the model's correct.
Yeah, the model's correct, but man, and he leans out at the visual display, moves something, slides a large piece of cardboard box over, and plastered on the front of it is a black and white kitten cartoon character wearing a little red dress with a flower on it. This matches everything spec-wise, but I have to respect myself. I cannot, in the best interest, put that on Mama Bear.
Huh?
I asked for charcoal gray.
That's not what came, man. The SKU number, everything matches exactly what you guys gave us. If you really want me to put this on, I'll do it.
No, look, man. I'm gonna have to extend the electromagnetic paint anyway. I was hoping for something neutral.
This isn't decals. This is on there. This is part of it. When you turn off that protective covering, it's just going to show through.
I can't. Well,
yeah, it's part of the wings. He starts tearing through some packaging and whatnot. He pulls out He pulls out. This is one of the couplers. Look, it's got little prints going across it.
Why would they waste the time and
This is the stand guard where when you're getting into the vehicle, specifically where you'd put your foot and still not damage the device.
Okay, I'm not gonna be I'm the first person to say that I don't know much about economics, but I cannot imagine there is much of a buying force behind this to warrant making something like this.
Or Cole got it custom made.
Oh my god.
Just sitting there scrolling through the little website. Click, click. Ooh, I can put my own colors on. Let's see, charcoal, gray, SpongeBob. This is SpongeBob. That's cute. Oh my god, there's so many more options. These are permanent. Oh yeah, we're doing it. Click. Add that to this queue. Rex hangs his head. All right, man. Bring Mama Bear on by. Shakes his head. Starts sliding the cardboard box out of AR vision as he disappears.
Our Cole.
Just saying it out to the void because you know he's fucking listening.
He's listening at all times.
Yeah. I specifically don't. I specifically don't send him a message. I just say it because I know he's got it on the background. He'll hear his name.
All you hear is, "What do you need, convoy?"
Did you purposefully purchase wings for Mama Bear that had tiny kitty cats on them?
Listen, Gross had shown me that they were rather popular in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and I know that this entire group loves, reaching back to the past. Is there I thought it would work aesthetically with Mama Bear. Is there a problem?
Well, our Colt, if you had remembered, maybe you can rewind, and you will see that I asked for charcoal gray. And the reason I did that is because there are very powerful people with massive robots with huge swords that do not like us and can recognize us by signature signs like my eyes or, I don't know, little kitty cats on my goddamn wings.
Convoy. Listen, I just extrapolated. I've never seen real charcoal.
It's just gray, man. It's just gray. It's just blackish gray.
There's a lot of movement in there. Doesn't that feel like good camouflage? Doesn't that feel like good camouflage, though?
It does when the sky's gray, right? It
Oh, well, no.
It's neutral. It could look like a cloud.
I mean the pink. Like would they really shoot down something with pink wings? Like that just seems cruel.
That trick will work one time, maybe, if we're lucky.
Our Cole is just like crying, laughing down in his subway home.
I'm dying over here personally.
I'm literally crying. It's too much.
It's gray. It's like slight dark gray.
Listen, I feel like that's better. I feel like that's better disguise. It to me it just works.
Add in. Also, it cut the production time down by 2 days. You got them faster.
Wow.
I'm
Say that.
assuming in my head that they had like a back inventory of like a whole bunch of those that they thought were really going to pop off.
Right? Your tiny little teenage prima donna's just like, I want my giant truck to have Hello Kitty wings. Fantastic. Oh, okay. Do you? So I'm assuming you now go see Rex.
I go see
Yeah.
Rex and get him attached, make him work.
Okay. So, yeah, as you show up, there is a long, somber moment of staring at these things. They are a pastel color that Mama Bear's internal sensors detect. And right off the bat, that's not in the chroma scheme as far as it goes, and has to download an update just to be able to cover that color with
That
and
game
matching.
costs $2.99 in the App Store.
Exactly. So, I'm assuming he has maybe some leftover material to cover the wings, but since it's naturally transparent and supposed to show the underbelly of the material that it goes on, he's going to put it on. He's going to lather it on, and in the end, they will camo change to be whatever they need to be. But in the meantime, when you walk up to Mama Bear and those wings are folded up, you still see the indented kind of like decal-esque style of a tiny freaking kitty cat in a camo paint job.
Also,
you can see it.
I'll always know. It doesn't matter if I can see it. I'll just know.
You know, when you see, like, when you lean on something and the light shines across it and all the raised ridges still create that image, that's what we're talking.
You could have at least gotten the Hello Kitty, like, wearing a cowboy hat and, like, a lasso. You could have at least, like, because I know that exists somewhere.
Oh, man.
Sorry, that's that is in fact Howdy Kitty.
Howdy Kitty.
Okay, I think it might be about time for our last 5-minute break.
Take a break. Howdy Kitty. Oh gosh. Howdy Kitty.
Convoy. Before that, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Oh god.
I would like to say, please put hashtag RemPC in the chat so that you can enter for a
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off. That way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Yes, in fact, I do have the Borderlands game itself, TTRPG.
I didn't even know there's TTRPG. Okay, sorry. That'll be for later. That'll be for later.
Another day. What was the book for the driving thing? I forgot it again. It was
Double Clutch.
Double Clutch. Why is it not listed?
What are you looking for?
Something.
I got
come on! I know it's
turbo
in there.
fans in these wings. That's what
I'm trying to figure out how fast your thing can go. How fast is it? What's its
page
acceleration?
137.
I still haven't found the double. Never mind.
Page 137, just below the red car.
Mm-hmm.
Very bottom, winged. Acceleration is 15.
Okay.
Top speed is 150.
Nice. Flying. That's incredible. All right. So do you do a test flight before getting out there to your launch pad there?
Well, I'm not going too far up. It's more of just making sure that I can hover above the ground, right? To make sure that it's actually everything is functioning correctly before we go off the edge of the bridge. But to really go up and fly, we'll have to do the bridge.
He's saying that he wants to fall with style before you fly.
I want to try
Okay.
hovering before I,
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Those ones pick me up before I really go up.
I imagine the takeoff is going to require a piloting roll of some type because you're turning your brick into a flying brick for just a short period of time. I wouldn't require too much, but give me an idea how fast you want to be going to test this brick flight. Because again, thrust is important. Even though you have vector assists or thermal assists in some way, shape, or form, that initial takeoff is kind of a thing. So
I'll have to go very fast, right?
How fast is that? How fast will... Because once you've taken off the ground, the speed to take off doesn't necessarily mean to be the speed of flight. So this flight speed is 150 at its max, right? You don't need to be doing 150 to take off. You need to either be going that or higher to take off successfully, physics speaking wise. And since there's no takeoff rules in the game, I'm going to say you have to be going over 150. So you'll take off and then basically slow down to 150 as your max speed as you cruise, because thrusts and lift.
Yeah, so I can hit 150 in Mama Bear.
So you gotta top out at 88 miles an hour.
I gotta top out
before you
at
hit
88 miles.
Before you
That's
hit
exactly what has to happen. Yeah. I have to redline it in order to take off the ground. And that's the thing, it's just enough, right? Because that's all I want to do is just enough to see if I can...
Can I help? Can I make it easier? I've got that overclock spell. It will cause a little damage. It will cause a little damage. So, like, maybe for, like, later, but, like...
That's okay.
Yeah, don't use it.
If you need it.
Yeah, that's the call. Because if, like, you use it and, like, hey, we needed that, then something needs to change on Mama Bear if the spell needs to be cast every time.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, but if you ever need a little extra oomph.
I'd like to say that Gross and Randy are just in communication right now, working out all the calculations, making sure that we don't get too far off of the ground, but also that we actually make it off of the ground.
Right. Okay, so they are definitely in communication. So Grouse will be able to provide you. Did you use Grouse when you were making your matrix perception test?
No, I did not.
Stealth? Cool. So Grouse will be able to provide 2 extra dice to assist, as well as Randy will be able to provide 3 dice to assist. So there's 5 dice from the PMAXs in the discussion of numbers when it goes to taking off the ground. If that makes any sense. So I would still like to get at least 2. So the very first test, popping off the ground, I want 3 successes. That's it. If you do that, you've basically taken off the ground successfully. 2 will pass, 3 will make me feel confident. 5 or higher, it was a beautiful takeoff and then a nice little easy landing.
And which check is that? Sorry.
Piloting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this would not be... Would this be ground vehicles? Because we're trying to get up to it? Up to that speed? Okay.
Yeah, this is all ground vehicle until you're off the ground, which then that's a piloting role for your air vehicle.
I would absolutely go into... I would jump in for this.
Okay. Seven is a fantastic number. Going through the highways and getting out of the city and starting to travel through some of the grasslands that surround the outside of Seattle as you're heading toward the shelf, the where the bridge used to come off and whatnot. So you're out and away from a lot of places, but you're still in the Seattle proper when you do this little jump. And it's golden. The wings come out. There's plenty of room. There's this pickup. It's a hover. It's a nice feel, but the back end of the vehicle is in the right position. The front end of the vehicle is doing what it's supposed to do. You feel like you could keep going, but you decided that this is just a test. So you reduce the power and you touch back to the ground. And you got the tires just right. So the tires are spinning at a high RPM when you hit the ground to catch and keep going and have the wings fold up. But man, you definitely had to get Mama Bear up to, her top speed just to kind of get that going. And you got the mindset what you need to do specifically. Like I said, I wanted 3. From now on out, just to take off is going to be 2. So it's gotten easier, you know what you're doing, but you definitely had to get her moving up high. As you hit the ground and keep driving, your rig controls start going off all crazy. A local speed sensor hits you. The speed limit on this desolate wasteland of a road is 70. And it's just flagged you for more than twice the speed limit. Like, no questions asked. Something's inbound.
Are we in Lone Star territory?
You are in Lone Star territory.
I'm gonna call Billy Bob.
At 150 miles an hour?
Billy Bob might be able to call it off. Billy Bob's a traffic cop.
All right. What is his connection?
Just 2. But speeding ticket might work.
All right, he asked you, have you been pulled over yet?
No, I haven't.
You ain't been caught yet. I can't fix it unless you've been caught.
All right.
If you don't get caught, there's nothing to fix.
Now, does this sensor going off, does that... I'm assuming that it alerts us in the car.
It alerts his rig. His rig is part of your pan, so unless you specifically broadcast other people's emergencies out, nobody is aware of it other than the rigger.
I mean, I would tell y'all. I would immediately.
Heat is on.
All right, we got some heat on us. Arkol, could you see if you could track this signal, and I'll throw it to him, and then I will immediately change. I've got the thing. I'll change whatever it picked up. Right? I don't know if it picked up was it a camera? We'll ask Arkol, I guess. Can you search for these auto speed triggers? Was there a camera? Was whatever was there?
You don't have to. Your rig identifies it, and it was a laser sensor. Basically, there was a laser going across the highway, and it detected your speed because of it. Basically, you ran through 2 lasers. And that's it.
Ah, okay. In that case, I'll just keep going, and I will send out. Send out Slugger. That's fine. I'll send out Slugger, and I will see if I can just take this thing. If I can, is it Slim Jim? I'll Slim Jim this thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
when it gets close enough.
When it gets close enough, and basically say that it's malfunctioning, that it's resetting. Has to do a hard reset. It's malfunctioning.
Sure. All right. I'm still trying to find it. All right. This drone comes flying in at high speeds. Where are we at? Here we go. Space vehicle. Here we go. Nope. There we go. Whispering death. That thing's so wicked looking. Alright. So, what does it resist with?
Let me see. Oh, sorry. So this is technically a brute force.
Yes. All right, let me bring my book up and type in the words Control Find. Brute. And it pops over to something in the index. Come on, just do it. Thank you. And nope. Come on.
As we're
Almost.
flying down the interstate, it is just Arkol and Technosiren chatting in the back about the beginnings of magic.
Oh.
We're just like back there. She's like showing like little baubles and such in the back. Just going, this is what you can do at the beginner level.
I would also try to get you to astral perceive with me, because it's really cool to be riding the tailwind of the truck like a dolphin. It's cool. I've done it before. So
Do you
can only do it astral.
Do you kind of lag behind your own body? Is is that then?
Sometimes, I mean, like, really, you can go wherever you kind of want to an extent, but like, yeah, it's like, and I like roll the window down, and I'm doing this, like, out, like, you can like do like this. You've done it before. You did it at the lunar. I forgot the name of that party off the top.
I don't think I was able to move.
Well, your body.
Peer pressure is an absolute grog of a drug. I really
get there. We'll get there. You're gonna see. It's so cool.
All right, so the spoof that you're trying to do requires an admin level of bashing. So that gives it a +2 because you're trying to tell it it's broken. It needs to go back and get fixed. And that's not like a user level. That's like a big end. So that gives it 2 extra dice to resist you with. It gets to use its firewall in willpower. It doesn't have a willpower, so it uses its pilot program. Its pilot program is a 4. Its firewall, which is based off of the host server that it's running off for, Lone Star, is an 8. That's 12 it gets to throw at you, with an additional 2 because it's requiring admin level bashing. So I'm going to throw 12 dice, and you get to throw what is it that you're throwing?
I throw 11.
Oh. It has, and because it's a drone, it picks, it buys. And remember, it buys 3 to 1. So for its 12, it automatically buys 4 successes. That's it. That's all it can do. There's no person behind it, no controlling. Four successes.
And it bought 4.
It bought 4.
Oh, I don't have any 4s in there.
No, you don't. You need 1 success, though. You need to do something to get yourself 1. Or do something to make it lose a success.
Gotta pull up my edge options.
Mm-hmm.
I am blanking. I guess I could spend 1 to re-roll a couple. I don't have enough to roll all of them.
Well, now, given that Arcole is kind of distracted in the back with magic talk, is there anything that Gross can do in this case to?
Did Gross give you extra? Yeah, Gross. Well, no. See, this is a different action. So yes, Gross can actually help, but so can Techno Sirens PMax. She actually, Grouse and her both can give 2 extra dice because, no, I take it back. Grouse can give 2 dice, and your PMax is, what's that?
Her name is Dawn.
I'm sorry, Dawn can give 3 because that's her actual focus is hacking because you don't. So you can get 5 dice from those 2.
How many did you say? Sorry?
5.
5? All right. Sorry. Wish you could just set it up. Let's see. Did it go?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm not sure why it's not working. I'll just manually do it.
Then you just hear it from the back. And when do I get to set up my cabin?
Oh yeah, your lodge. That's like a really advanced thing, but you can use my lodge. I have a lodge in my apartment, and so like it's kind of small and it's
Well,
cute.
tell you
and
what.
cozy. Isn't it?
I'll use 2 edge to turn that 4 to a 5. There.
Okay, cool. I got a great way that this is going to role play out. All right, so that gives you one success. You're successful. So we're gonna do an and then. So I'm gonna lead into it, and then you can follow up, and then I'll pull back. So as you're zipping down, you've called your contact, like, hey, can you? No, you ain't got a ticket. I can't do anything about it. And so you look back over your shoulder. You two in the back are talking. Grouse looks and sees that you're talking, and then looks to Convoy and says, "That's one of those high-tech security drones coming in. It's a high speed." And that's when Randy goes, "That son of a biscuit is traveling almost at 200 plus. It's going to be on top of us in seconds." And Randy's currently helping you drive. And so Grouse stops what he's doing and turns to start kind of helping out in that direction, to kind of assist with that bashing attempt you're doing. Dawn says, "I can help too," which Grouse turns and says, "We don't need help from people who want to reset other life forms." And she says, "I was just trying to be helpful at that." And so they have the two PMAXs have a quick bicker before finally she tells Grouse, "That's not important. We need to stop the drone." And Grouse goes, "I hate that you're right." And then they turn. No, actually, no, they're still bickering. That's when Convoy jumps in and says,
I'll literally say, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get stuff together. Quit your bickering, you two. Stop that thing. Do it now. I'm sick. No big. I will stop this car. I will stop this truck right now. I'll turn around.
Lord, I hope Randy is in the back just hype manning this.
No, Randy is just like rolling his eyes at these kids. So they turn and they focus their attempts. They bring down the firewall. They do some defense reductions, and then bam, you're able to hit it. The drone begins to decelerate as it's trying to process this sudden malfunction and answer, and then it starts to turn back. You're still flagged as far as it goes for a speeding, but nothing has happened. The alarm continues to go on. And you know that the system is designed that if the alarm goes on for too long, it just cuts off going, it's a mistake or, whatever. So you probably have to drive for another 5 minutes quietly listening to the thing going dee 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 dee. But in all honesty, you can mute it. It's not a big deal. The highway begins to blend from small trees and thick grass as the grass begins to thin out. Old buildings from previous housing districts and pre-drought times litter the sides of the highway. Old gas stations and whatnot, dilapidated towns begin passing by on either side. And you can see the road twists and turns, and then finally it's a slight rise, and you can see the bridge. The cracks in the road zigzag like spider webs. The dust blows through, and you can see the majesticness of this bridge that just goes up. But because of the way it's sitting and the curve, you don't see it down. Because there's not one. Not because of the horizon or the shape, because 500 feet into that bridge, there's no more bridge. And so it's happening, and at this point in time, this golden moment has arisen inside you as you realize you're about to successfully do this. This is it. Meanwhile, those two are out in the back with their hands doing like this, and cabin pressure is suddenly rolling through your calculations.
Well, I want to pay attention if we're going off the bridge. I would actually be like, "Hang on, it's happening. It's happening." And I feel like I'm gripping the front seat from behind it. And I'm like, yeah.
As Mama Bear begins to head up toward max speed of 150 miles an hour and the red line is getting closer, I'm not going to require a dice roll. But I will tell you that the moment that the wheels, as the vehicle itself shoots off the center of the bridge and the wings begin to unfurl into that first shape and the vector thrust begins pushing down, there's an uplift. As the front of the truck levels back out, and then maybe leans a little to the right, and a little to the left. Speed reduces back down to about 140 miles an hour as you begin
cruising across this expansive wasteland of desert, sand, and old coastlines that have long since dried up. In the far distance, you can see that shimmer, that illusion from the heat baking off the sand in the distance, and the sun is behind you guys, and so you're not flying into the sunset, you're flying away from the sun, but still, nonetheless, it's something beautiful about this open desert wasteland that we close our game session tonight on, as Mama Bear flies for her first time.
Amazing. Amazing.
Mama Owlbear.
Yes.
Mama Owlbear. I'll have to get to used to remembering that one.
Yeah, same.
Only whenever she's
Only when
flying.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's so
Whew.
good.
What an amazing night.
That was great.
Truly. That was good.
So, I normally award 3 to 5 experience points, but the role playing tonight has been really dramatic. I feel like the accomplishments were worthwhile, and so it needs to reflect that. And so, if I remember correctly, we should be close to 165. Where are we at in total karma?
I thought we were right up to about 150.
I know it was at 150 when we last kind of like heated off.
I don't have the correct number for that.
We will have to-
If only Amber didn't leave.
Some, right? That's
I will figure it out, but for tonight, I'm going to say that this is definitely worth 8 karma for the experience, the role playing, the chance for what we did, everything. 8 karma is definitely worth it. And starting at next game session, everyone will start next game session with 1 temporary edge. Because the role playing was great. You guys did an amazing job. You took every and then moment and did something with it, and that makes me happy. Like even the beginning when I'm just like, this is you guys' show, I'm going to start off by just zipping my lips, and you guys just plowed into it. It was good. Man. To our audience, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. I definitely had fun. Thank you for participating. For those who enjoyed or joined in the chat, you guys are great. Love it. We will be back in 2 weeks on the 21st. I don't think there's any complications to say we won't, as so far. So the 21st, you'll be seeing us again. Otherwise, next week, I do believe it's a rerun. Maybe it's a one-shot. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I believe it's a
Meantime-
rerun, mainly because I am on a cruise.
yeah.
There we go. That's what's going on. Maybe nothing happens because nobody shows up to actually turn on the buttons. Because I'm not.
We could do it. Nobody else will watch though.
Listen, who wants to come over and turn on my computer for me?
Yeah, there we go. Looking for someone to come turn. This is a non-paying position. You might get gratitude.
Might.
It's really neither here nor there. You know, it's just depending on whether or not, they feed my cat.
Oh,
Oh.
well. Thanks and good night. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.